So mad there's no control in me. My thoughts get so bad I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fucked up real bad.
What's up, wrestling fans? This is Heal the Ring podcast. I am the Don of the Watch Along, BX Sport Jedi Kev. We're in to review Raw and NXT 2.0, but today I am not alone. I have a star-studded panel. We're going to bring them in. Let's say hello. First, we're going to say hello to the one and only Samurai. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
We got the heel. Salute.
Hey, what's up? And no one is better than the awesome one. I'm Heel.
And we got Charles in the building.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And a man that don't need no acknowledgement, but we're going to acknowledge him, Terrence.
What's up? What's good? Let's get it. Let's get it.
And the man with the title also from Forbidden Doors, Pete. What's up, Pete?
What's going on, man? What's going on, guys?
All right. You guys are ready to review some Monday Night Raw, the Triple H era. It was in Toronto. Wow, what a way to start it off. We get a all-out brawl between Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins. Similar shades when Triple H first took over his first Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden with Logan Paul and The Miz. They were all over the place. I love that hot start from Monday Night Raw. Charles, talk to me. Tell me on that start. How did you like that?
Seth freaking Rollins. Anything he does is golden. Man hasn't even had a title on him in how many months, and he is one of the top superstars in all of wrestling right now. No matter what AEW, what brand you want to talk about, anything he does, I'll eat it up. I mean, it was beautiful, like you mentioned about MSG. They went on MSG, did in Toronto. Canada loves it.
Indeed, Samurai, the battle. Would you, if you're in creative, would you start that fight there between them, and are you invested seeing them going forward in Clash of the Castles?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a blood feud, so to speak. You know, so for them to start a brawl like that, it makes sense.
I agree on there. And Heel, give me your thoughts on that battle.
Oh, yeah. It was such a nice way to kick off Raw. And then when it comes to Seth Rollins, there are just wrestlers that come to a certain point in their career where they get so over and so, I guess you say, almost like protected to the point where, like, they don't even need a title anymore. They're just like, golden, They're so good that it doesn't even matter how many times they lose, how many times they win, what happens to them. They're just like goated, as I like to say. And it's rare to have those kind of wrestlers in your company. Like Shawn Michaels was one, Undertaker was one, Seth Rollins is in that iconic, I guess you say, bar, so to speak, where he doesn't need anything right now. All he has to do is show up for work, get on TV, and he's Seth freaking Rollins. You don't have to worry about hitting a title on this guy. He's over as can be right now. He is in the middle of his prime. He is future Hall of Famer Seth Rollins right now, not even just Seth freaking Rollins.
All right, Terrence, you want to add to that, or give me your thoughts?
My sentiments with everybody. I agree with everybody. That was an awesome start to Raw. An incredible start to Raw. Like you said, it started like that in Madison Square Garden with who was it? The Miz and
Logan Paul,
the internet guy. Yeah, Logan Paul. So they're just starting off Raw, just that whole entire feel, kind of gave it like a, you could tell change is already in the air, but that just kind of like made it a little bit more prominent. But starting off that way, you knew Raw was going to be pretty dope after that.
I agree. Pete, give me your thoughts. I don't want to leave you out on this excellent conversation. You as a creative booker, do anyone in particular needs to get over in this feud, or you're just enjoying these two guys just beat the heck out of each other?
I'd say the person who benefits the most out of this is obviously Matt Riddle because Riddle, he's getting a lot of experience from a lot of wrestlers, first teaming up with Randy Orton, getting that experience, and then now teaming up with, doing his thing with Seth Rollins now. This is where, Riddle's getting a lot of, I'd say, a lot of suggestions from a lot of the people that have been there the most in WWE. So him getting that experience from other wrestlers, especially from Seth, because Seth is a freaking amazing guy. Like everything he touches turns to gold. Am I right? So,
Amen.
Yes, sir.
him getting that experience from Seth, this is gonna be great. I can't wait for Clash at the Castle.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one to see that Clash of the Castle. That match it's going to have all of us invested. I can't wait for that. It's only 2 weeks away. The build up, the go home show, I think is going to be outrageous. I cannot wait. But we'll move on. We'll see what happens with Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins. But then we have Toronto native come out, the Hall of Famer Stratus faction. Trish Stratus comes out, cuts a promo there. Trish, just like fine wine, gets better with age. I'll go right back to you, Pete.
It was great seeing her return because, especially the way that she looks, it's great because the crowd was loving it, especially because, everybody cheering for one more match, one more match. I was like, yo, I can't lie. This crowd was great, man. Them giving a lot of love for Trish Stratus, we got to see more of that.
Yeah, it was electric. The whole crowd. Terrence, Trish Stratus invested in another match, although we didn't get to see her get physical at that promo. A little disappointing. What was your thoughts not seeing her getting? I thought with Bayley and her and Damage Control coming out, I thought there was going to be a little physicality there. Disappointed or not?
I mean, I wasn't disappointed. I was kind of expecting some contact, but then I wasn't because like they're in Toronto, so when you have the heels come out, usually there's some kind of thing going on physically. But just her being out there and then seeing her interact with with everybody, it kind of gave a little hope. Like, yeah, one more match. She might not be as good as she was before, but she still looks like she's in great. Actually, she is in great freaking shape. I enjoyed it.
All right. Charles, Trish Stratus, one more match. Yay or nay?
Yay. I mean, I was stratified. That's for sure. It looked like she was going to do something, and didn't end up happening. Like you said, the heels were out there. They brought up the numbers game, and then Asuka and Alexa Bliss came out, which led right into the match. But I was hoping something would kind of pop off, and them even not having the numbers still overtake them. But, it was leading up to a match, so you can't kind of have that happen. I enjoyed it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Her coming out, her promos, she still got it.
He does. And speaking of that, we got right into it. We got to the semifinals. Dakota Kai, Io Shirai taking on Alexa Bliss and Asuka, where we actually see the Damage Control actually comes to a victory. First of all, tell me about the match, and are you okay with the outcome? And then we'll throw it to Samurai, and then we'll go back around round robin.
Yeah, I'm actually really okay with the outcome because, again, even though the stable has still been together for now a decent amount of time, you still need to build them up some more. After all, there's been a lot of questions about how people feel about Bayley being a heel, how the people feel about the stable in general. So yes, I think the stable needed to go over here, and it was really and the match in general was actually, in my opinion, really solid. I don't think it was necessarily like an in-ring masterpiece or anything like that, but I really did like it.
All right, I'm gonna throw it to Samurai. Samurai, the same thing, the same question to you, especially seeing Alexa Bliss bounce back and hitting a double DDT on Kai, and my God, you see a lot of different moves, the submission locks. All in all, what's your thoughts on this match?
Well, the match was the right team won, like Hill says. I mean, it was basically a showcase to see if see what was going to happen. The finals for next week. I don't know. It was just a good match. The especially when Alexa hit that DDT, the double DDT. I mean, she spiked Dakota Kai. Jesus Christ, she stood on her head for like 3 seconds.
It looked vicious. Charles, give me your thoughts on that match. Your thoughts.
Oh,
right team won.
Oh yeah, definitely right team won. Definitely heel hit it spot on with. It wasn't a barn burner of a match, but it was just a great overall match. I call it a story inside of a story. Especially love the commentating. Oh my God, the commentating on. They feel free. Corey Graves, Byron Saxton actually has a personality now. So love it because you heard them talk about how Ashka and Io have like a history together. Not Ashka, Ashka have a history together. So it's not like frowned upon to talk about when they used to wrestle at other places, and that makes me more interested for sure. So I loved it. I love it. I'm a huge Alexa Bliss fan too. Waiting for her to turn heel. I like her better as a heel. So that's why I think the right team won also as well. So I'm excited to see where they go.
I like that there, especially when you mentioned about their history, not seeing Asuka and Io. I'm gonna go to Pete. Pete, do you know their backstory, history? How long they haven't had a match with one another, or talk to me about?
Not really. Don't really know much about their history. I do know Asuka has been around DDT, pro wrestling and Stardom around there. So most likely it was during the Stardom days that they probably met each other, that they faced, but don't really know much. But I know that this match in itself it was great. I liked it a lot. Can't wait.
So you're happy with the results?
Yeah.
Right team won. Okay,
Yes,
so
the right team won.
bringing us home here, Terrence. Your thoughts on this match with these ladies? The right team won, and give me your take on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the right team won. It made sense for the storyline. It wasn't incredible, but it was a pretty decent match. It wasn't a sleeper, thank God. But with 4 of these ladies in the ring and with Bayley outside, it can't really be possible to have it as been a sleeper match. But yeah, I'm happy with the result. The match was great, and ready to see what's going to happen. See who's damage control his opponents for next Monday. They're going to take it home.
Right. I'm glad you said that, because prior to Monday Night Raw going out, Brian Alvarez, I guess from PW Inside mentioned that there was going to be a change to the tag team, the women's tag team tournament. And I go, what now? But he didn't know. He says, I don't know, more to come. So, okay, before I saw anything or any other dirt sheet, I paused and said, what could bring something different and more exciting? And I just me, fantasy booking, I said, well, maybe tonight there'll be a no contest between the Dakota and Io Shirai versus Alexa Bliss and Asuka, so they get a double eliminated. So that makes it Friday night was going to be a women's tag team title. We were going to get crowned a women's title on SmackDown. That's just me. I'm like, okay, so what I say, okay, we'll get either, no matter who wins this tournament, either it would have been at that time Classic Attraction or Raquel and Aliyah. Then on Monday Night Raw, when you bring the ladies to showcase their titles, then when you have Boston Glow come and just squash them, hey, we're the real new champions and so forth, and then you set up interim or unification, whatever you want to call it, the real champion versus the last champion women's at Clash of the Castle. I thought they were going to go that way, but we found out later on if we're going to have a second chance fatal 4-way due to the fact that DG Dolan from Toxic Attraction came up with a concussion during her match, and his safety protocols will not be able to compete. So it was a little bit of a downer because myself, and of course I'm really going to speak for our guys here. We're all NXT guys, so we were excited for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And kind of going back to what you mentioned about the matches and how it was going to work out, I was kind of hoping that the loser of this match was going to be in the like last chance fatal 4-way instead, and it kind of then you can have those two go at it again for the in the finals. So didn't work out that way, but you know, you can only hope.
Yeah,
Indeed,
they got
indeed.
those. They got the 4 tag teams in it, and it's like, you know, I was expecting a little bit more, but you know, it's not really any big time players in it besides Damage Control.
Yeah.
So let me ask this here, if you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. So this Friday, the winner of the fatal second chance has to wrestle two matches tonight in that night.
I think because they have to fight freaking damn. I don't have the bracket with me in front of me, but they have to have one more match against whoever advanced, I believe. And then if you recall, when they will have 2 matches, and then Monday they will fight Damage Control.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. All right. I wasn't too sure about that. I myself didn't research it, didn't look at it. So it'll be interesting to see because the second chance are Shotzi and Xia Li. That's one team. You got Sonya and Natalia, the other, and of course you're gonna have who's the other? Dana
Tamina.
Brooks with Tamina. But it's fatal 4-way, so they are gonna probably end up putting. They are probably gonna put the loser, Alexa and.
No, there's also
one more team.
Nikki SH and.
Thank you so much for. I forgot. I totally. Piper Nevin just totally forgot about her.
They're forgettable. I'm not gonna lie. It's okay.
For real.
So we'll go on to the next match. To me, before the match even started, was my favorite part. That I really enjoyed of Monday Night Raw was Ziggler. When he goes out there, he's just, oh my God. Charles, talk to me about that before in the gorilla position.
Dolph Ziggler, again, just like fine wine. He keeps getting better with age. And then how he ended it. What was the exact words? You just going to lay there, bitch, or you're going to come out to the ring? Man,
lay there like a little bitch.
Yes.
Well,
thank you. I'm loving it. These promos. This is slowly starting to feel like the Attitude Era again.
Good point there.
But more to more to what's going on now, because you can't call it the Attitude Era because it's not. This isn't the generation of Attitude. So I don't know what to call it, but. Loving these promos, loving the backstage stuff. It's not just hi, fight.
All right.
Thank you,
Terrence. Give me your thoughts on the match, and then I'll throw it to Pete, and then we'll go back to heel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the match is pretty good, man. The match is pretty good. They had me on the edge of my toes for like I don't say the entire match, but like mostly towards the end because me being a Dolph fan, I like Finn too, but. Me being a Ziggler fan, I was kind of hoping for him to win, but then the way they pulled that off, I don't know if was I supposed to the result.
Yeah. I got it right here on the bottom. No, it's here on the bottom already.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wasn't looking at the screen, but it's like I was hoping for Ziggler to win it, and he didn't. But even in that, when I was just talking to you about that yesterday, like he's one of those guys that even though he might not have as many wins in his career, he has losses, but he still looks good going forward because he didn't lose. Case in point, he didn't lose clean last night, basically. He was some interference and stuff like that. So I'm still excited to see what's to come for him, particularly in the future. So, but the match itself, I enjoyed it, and the promo beforehand was awesome.
Right. I'm going to go, Pete. We heard the crowd very much in Dolph Ziggler's chanting "Let's go Ziggler" as the match reaches climax points, and there was a loud "Holy crap" chant. You know, once again, I know you mentioned earlier that crowd in Toronto, they were live. They were not dead. They were not the crowd in Houston a couple weeks ago. This was a different crowd. They were hungry to watch WWE or wrestling, and it's good to see that. Ziggler, former NXT champion, departed despite the losing. I don't think he lost any of his heat.
Oh, definitely not. He hasn't lost any of the heat. I mean, this crowd was, they were very into this match. I was loving every moment of this, and then, the obvious loss from Ripley coming out of nowhere and hitting him with a cheap shot, and then, him losing to the coup de grace. Still the crowd still loves Ziggler, and seeing that, Ziggler's getting love still, it goes to show that, even though you've been there for a very long time, you still got it.
Indeed.
Sure.
And now, heel. I know your stance on Dolph Ziggler. I know that you are now. I want to hear your thoughts because I know your thoughts in the past of Dolph Ziggler. Talk to me. Tell me what your thoughts on it.
I actually did really like this whole thing, but my issue with Ziggler is that he can't really continue what he started. Like, even though yes, this was really good, the next week Ziggler might be kind of iffy or start to get really boring again. And I know a lot of people say, "Well, it's the way he's booked." Well, he has that. He's bordering. He borders between the Cesaro and kind of like middle factor from there. Like he's kind of like just good in the ring. That's all he is. He really has no character. Like if I had to ask someone, explain to me what Dolph Ziggler's like character is, I bet almost no one can do it here.
That's a
Anyone?
good point.
Yeah.
He's just a bad man. That's all he is. He's
Yeah.
He's just there to steal the show, He's
Yeah,
always there.
but without a doubt, just talking on this segment alone in the match, I mean, I liked it without a doubt. I mean, it was good. Nowhere in the universe was I thinking like Attitude Era or anything like that. I just thought it was overall a good segment, good match, and the right person went over, and that's what Dolph Ziggler honestly needs to do nowadays. He needs to help get things over. He needs to help get younger talent over and stuff like that. Like his time has passed, and on top of that, he's had a good career. He's been world heavyweight champion, he's been IC champion. He's done a lot of cool things. I mean, he was even part of the Spirit Squad. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, let's go Dolph. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Overall, everything about this was cool.
All
I
right, all
forgot
right.
about that.
I'm surprised you liked that part with Ziggler. I know how your stance are. Samurai, talk to me about this with Ziggler, going over with Balor, losing the Balor, but still continuing his heat, getting over there. What's your thoughts there, going forward with Judge? By the way, Judgment Day, new introduction. What's your Samurai? Give me your thoughts on the new intro as well.
Well, I mean, I think that they, they've come out to the other side. It's just like when all three of them are together. So it makes sense for them to have their own individual entrances. You don't want to overdo the other side by Alter Bridge. So,
right.
they had, it was a more darker tone to their original theme song. So, and I'm not complaining about it. I liked it.
All right, and the match. Give me your thoughts on the match, so we could go to the next segment.
The match itself, well, it was basically a wrestling match. Like that's what they're out there to do. They're out there to wrestle. I mean, the right person won. I mean, I didn't expect Dolph to win, but then again, I it's Dolph Ziggler. Like Hill says, I like Dolph Ziggler. They just need to find something to do with him, which he's done everything. So I don't know what else they could do with him. But from there, he just needs to, like, I guess, keep refining his craft. even more than he already has.
All right. And let me go around. Let me give one quick round robin. Charles, your thoughts on the new introduction? Like it or
Oh,
spike it?
I liked it, of course. It was great. Like Terrence was saying, it's brand new. It makes it more theirs and have that grim look. I'm glad they changed it because whenever Bailey's hit at SummerSlam, I was like, Judgment Day? And then Bailey came out, so I'm glad they kind of changed it up because they were sounding too similar.
All right. Any Pete, your thoughts on that one on the intro?
I like the new intro. Unfortunately for the people on the internet, they didn't like it. Obviously, like if you can remember Edge when he first debuted that new theme for Judgment Day, everybody on the internet was like, "Oh, I don't like that theme." Well, and then after a month later or so, people were like, "Oh, wow, this theme is actually pretty good." So it's like, you got to give it some time to let it marinate, and people will start to like it even more.
All right. Terrence, I know Terrence, you want one more time on it, or we move on?
Yeah, man. I mean, I look that the other side theme. Like we can all agree here that was specifically for Edge.
Yes.
Edge's Judgment Day.
Yes.
The Edge's Judgment Day, not because it seems so like off when they just came out, when all three of them came out without Edge with that song. It was like you still expecting the Edge to come out of nowhere or something like that or whatever. So just to see them change and have a more darker tone, both of them, it was pretty dope. Like, and when Finn came out, he still had like that little like when he puts his hand in the air, but like instead of doing that, he just kind of stayed like a little crouch position or something like that. But it was dope, man. I'm just finally glad they have their own,
All right. So we'll go on to the next part of Raw, the next segment here. It was Bayley taking her first match, taking on Aliyah. Now, hometown Aliyah taking on Bayley. Bayley's first match. Heel, talk to me. Did you like that? Seeing her taking her on?
Yeah, I did actually like the fact that they were having this match because, I mean, overall, the thing I love about what's happening here is that the new talent is getting some shine, and of course, what better way to help Bailey get more heat by her beating the upstarter, the upriser, the
In her hometown, by the way.
yeah. The only thing I wish that they would have done, like, to get more heat is have Bailey just flat out be more vicious. Probably like like lock her into submission and not let go. Probably force more refs to come out and break it up, something like that. I think that would have been like just like icing on the cake. But still, I like the fact that this helped get Bailey more heat on her and all that. So, I'm not gonna complain about it like that. I just wish that there was a lot more. I guess you can say whipped cream on the
more squash, more of a squash.
Yeah, more squash. Yeah, more of a squash.
Yeah, but maybe because since she's gonna wrestle in the tournament, and you already had Gigi out with a concussion. I'm not saying that she's gonna get her injured, but if you want to make it more storyline, and if she really beats the living crap and squashes Aliyah, then how the hell she's gonna make it to the tournament? I don't know. What's your thoughts there, Samurai?
Well, I mean, you really want my honest opinion. Aliyah needs more work.
Okay.
I mean, she does. She's not that good. Like I said it on Twitter when it happened. I replied to somebody who said that Aliyah's not good. I'm like, well, maybe she just needs to go back to NXT/Performance Center and refine her craft a little bit more. That's just like she's been on the main roster for like a year, maybe 2 years now. She's not that good. So I think that she just needs to really either go back to the Performance Center or, go back to NXT.
Yeah.
And get better.
I think she's good. You just need to team her up with someone to help her learn some more. That's it. I think she's good though to be on the main roster, at least good enough.
Yeah,
I think it's crap work.
She's trying. She's just not. I guess she was either nervous or something. I don't know.
Oh,
she was crying. She was crying the whole match.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don. I was about to say that. Exactly. Well, I mean, if you look, little people for the universe, that front spot where the main camera's facing, that's friends and family. So they're in Toronto. And Trish Stratus cut a promo with her before the match. And so when they come back in, she's like wiping a tear away, pointing to people. So, and maybe she's just isn't used to those big crowds and big moments yet, and hasn't been there. And like, that's the difference probably between these COVID NXT and up and comers and the ones that are after COVID and before COVID used to the crowds.
Great point. Great point. Pete, talk to me about that. Elaborate on this situation.
I just feel like you guys are right. She should go back to NXT Performance Center. Learn a little bit more because it was kind of just she was kind of dragging down Bayley a little bit, and
Bayley was selling. She was selling.
Yeah, she was selling it, but it comes to a point where it just isn't working, and I feel like we passed that point with her a few years ago, and the problem comes down to she just really isn't that good at the moment. She needs just more work and more training to like you said, should put her with somebody with experience to help her, to guide her through the right direction. But the match was all right. It we want to see Bayley and her wrestle again. So putting her in this match, it was all right. It was good.
All right. I know, Terrence, I know you wouldn't be opposed sitting there live in NXT on Tuesday night and you see Aliyah strutting down. You think we'll be all right to see her in NXT?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. If that's just like the question, I wouldn't mind it. Well, yeah, because it's eye candy, and she still has some. I agree, like with some of the stuff that you guys said. She still has some work to do, but I think she did okay for what it was. Like, she's in there with Bayley. Bayley's first match back, even though she was already I think she already wrestled one live event show. Bayley did before she came back here officially. Not saying that she was rusty or anything like that. The chemistry wasn't there that good, obviously. So I'll just say, for what it was, she did all right. I didn't notice. Well, I did notice it, but I didn't know about that when you said Trish was there and she had cut a promo, and then I was wondering why she looked a little bit emotional when it came back from a commercial.
Yeah.
So that was the telling story of it. But for what it was, she did okay. I'm not down on her. I actually like her. She should, like I said, I wouldn't mind her being in NXT. I think she should stay on the main roster just for a little while, and then if it continues to if it gets, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
Oh yeah.
Terrible. But if it continues, if it goes downhill a little bit more, I think she should go back down to NXT just to kind of fine tune it a little bit and get a character, and just kind of go on from there. But it was all right.
You know what they can do to actually help Bayley a lot with this heel run? Didn't she have that ultra fan named Izzy or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What if they
What's
do?
she up to?
What if they do a segment where Izzy comes in and tries to fix her by trying to give her a hug, then Bayley just throws her to the ground or something like that?
Bring back the therapist from the Team Hell No.
No, he should stick to just Team Hell No. No, I'm sorry. This Dr. Shelby is just for Team Hell No. I'm sorry, no.
But something along those lines, to fix Bayley. But yes.
I say just throw Izzy to the ground, push her aside or something like that. That would get huge heel heat. But
all right.
I feel like nah, not really, because if at the beginning of her heel run, if they would have brought Izzy in and did that, then it would have made sense. But I feel like it's already too late for that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still worth a try. I mean, she is still a teenager at this point. I mean, and Bayley obviously is a grown adult. I mean, hey, pushing her to the ground, especially on her face like that, that would get, I think, massive heel heat. Yeah.
They gotta let Bayley go all in some way. not this like snarky haha. Like I feel like she's trying to be a female Seth Rollins, but not there yet with the ha 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 laughs. Not in
Yeah,
the persona.
no one's gonna do that like him. No one's
Yeah,
gonna do it. Yeah.
the snarky laugh, like she's trying to do a snarky laugh, like when she's like ha 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 ha. I'm like, okay, you lost me right there. Like,
To me, the way I see Bayley, she's trying to be like Hollywood Hogan.
okay,
Oh,
see, and
Okay.
And
Hey,
Hollywood Hogan got brought back by his son when he left his old uniform in
okay.
his locker. So there goes his Bailey hug thing. Boom.
If I could say this to Bailey, if that were true, I'm like, okay, you're trying to be like Seth Rollins is one thing, but trying to be like Hollywood Hulk Hogan, no. Again, blank, no. HELL, no. It's not just that's not gonna happen. You're talking about literally one of, if not the go to wrestling. I'm like, no.
But I think,
well, yeah.
here. No, finish your thought. Sorry about
No,
that.
I was just gonna say I know some people that's controversial or debatable for some reason, but again, either way, we can all admit that's hard to top. It's not happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Whole
was gonna
nother
mention
podcast.
that's a whole. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna mention with Aliyah. I know we're talking about a return back to NXT and so forth. I kind of want to see. I thought that match that she had with Raquel for the qualifier was really a heck of a job they did. Maybe she works good as a tag team, like the same way Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai were before they lost the titles to Toxic and before and when they won it in Stand and Deliver. I think they're trying to replicate that, Charles.
I agree. I think it'll be a great tag team, and it could give Aliyah some personality to kind of figure out what her character is. I mean, same question can anyone about like similar Dolph Ziggler, but for someone that's still green, can you tell me what Aliyah's character is?
No, I don't know.
Aliyah, no.
317. Aliyah 317. She's got the fastest match.
She's a record. I mean,
that's it.
There's so I think someone with Raquel Rodriguez who all of a sudden just had clearly NXT but had this great match with Ronda on SmackDown a few months ago has just been growing, and then pairing with Aliyah, I think they definitely balance each other out, and you can get some personality out of both of them, and then create two new stars already.
Yeah. Samurai, you that watched them when Raquel and Dakota were tagged. Do you see any similar vibes to that? And I'll throw that to Pete.
Well, let's think. Let's put it this way: if they go to the finals, you have to realize that Raquel Rodriguez and Dakota Kai they were once a tag team, so that would be a really interesting dynamic to see both Raquel and Dakota on the opposite sides of the of the ring together. And they had a couple matches back in NXT. I think they had a feud for a while. I can't remember, but they can bring it, and they're just that good to where they make it more believable than any other tag teams out there.
All right. Good. I know you wanted to say, Pete, a few things about that.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with that. For if Raquel Rodriguez would face off against Dakota Kai, it's actually going to be something crazy because going back into the NXT days where they used to team up, and then when Raquel Rodriguez won the women's championship, and they had that little feud going on. If that were to happen during the finals, if she were to make it to the finals, it'll be something. It'll be something crazy.
It would be. Would she hesitate to attack her? Or put her. That'd be a little bit of damage control. Literally there within the facet already. The first sign of adversity for that facet. It'll be interesting. It's a lot of storylines that could be building on that, which is fun. This is what wrestling, WWE, and all the wrestling all across. There's so many stories within a story, which is fun. So many possibilities, so unpredictable. This is why I think we're so invigorated and so excited with the way wrestling is going here. But We'll shall see there with Bayley. It's good for her second match. She did fight. She did wrestle on Saturday main event in Ottawa. So that was her first non-television. But this was on Monday Night Raw was her first television. But it's good for her to get some reps in. So when she gets into Clash of the Castle, she does not look too rusty. That's where all eyeballs are going to be. So hopefully that helps her there. So we'll move on here. We'll move on to a good match here, just a freaking wrestling brawl between Kevin Owens and Chad Gables. Boy, heel, good old fashioned wrestling brawl. Talk to me about that because Chad Gables is so freaking underrated.
You called me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
We gotta say thank you.
Yeah, I know. Because I was just imagining the match in my head, and I was just like, digesting like what to say, and I was like, man, first off, wrestling wise, Chad Gable is like amazing. The only big issue is like I think number one, he does have something to do right now, which is awesome. But I think WWE's main problem with Chad Gable is they want to make him a single star, and I would too. But it's like, how do you make him into a single star in the future? Because he fits into this box. Where it's like, even if you do make him into a single star, it's like, how do you make that work? Because the guy has all the potential in the world, as we saw in this match today. I mean, he can have good to excellent matches, but it's like he it's almost like he only fits into this one mold where it's like he can only be a tag team wrestler, but he also is showing you potential to be a single star. It's like he's one confusing wrestler to book. But as for this match itself, it was really, really good actually, and it goes to show like, I mean, Chad Gable is just just wrestling wise, it's one of the best wrestlers you have on that roster. And Kevin Owens, I mean, we could talk about him all day and all stream. This guy, I mean, rather you're a guy that's seen him since the ROH days, or now NXT, what have you. I mean, Kevin Owens is just chef's kiss. Mwah. He can work with anybody, anything.
Yes, sir.
And he's great on the mic too. I mean, there's nothing this guy can't do.
All right.
Yeah.
Pete, you want to go ahead, Pete? Give you a few minutes here on the Kevin Owens, Chad Gables. Go for it.
The prize fighter is back. Come on now.
Yeah, man, he is.
He got back his NXT Titantron right there. Oh man, I was loving it. This match was great. There was a lot of crazy kickouts from the, what was it, getting hit with the German in the corner. Man, this was just, I liked it. I like Kevin Owens a lot. Seeing him back from the Ring of Honor days and stuff. And this was just, I liked it a lot. Especially after the match where he got attacked and stuff, and then he managed to hit the stunner, and it was all fun and games right there.
Yeah, indeed, Samurai. You saw that Gables actually hit Owens on the apron with the German suplex. Hard hitting execution. Tell me your thoughts on that match.
Well, I mean, it was a good match. Basically, Kevin Owens is going through this like metamorphosis, and he's reverting back to his prize fighter days, man. I was actually kind of hoping that he would do what he did to Ezekiel to Otis, just to get Otis away from Chad Gable. But it didn't happen that way. I mean, I would be surprised if he could lift up Otis and powerbomb. And that's not saying anything about Otis's weight. Otis just
no, you are. Just admit it.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, you are. Just come out and say.
I think he could do it. I think he needs a Kurt Angle, like a Kurt Angle Shane McMahon style match, except for more needed, like how Shane needed, because Kurt was always just a badass already and never kind of went that tag team route. I think Gable can definitely get there if he has He just needs. I think if he does something like with KO more, and they just do like a 2-month-long series of just being the darn piss out of each other, I mean, it'll put both of them over. I mean, KO. I mean, you can't put him. You can put him more over, but it'll definitely elevate Gable a lot more to be like, all right, this guy's a legit badass. Like, not just a wrestler, but like he'll beat the fuck out of you. Excuse my language.
I mean, realistically, like, you can't go wrong with a Kevin Owens Chad Gable match. I mean, they're both really damn good, you know.
No, I agree with you on that one. That those two going forward, especially, and I'm glad you mentioned Chad Gable. Next week, Monday Night Raw will be in Pittsburgh, and the honorary legend will be Kurt Angle. I would love an interaction between Kurt Angle and Chad Gable. Even if Gargano isn't going to get into a match, but I just want to see a promo between those two smart addicts. Oh, to me, I will be so excited to see those two get in the ring work and cut a promo, at least a promo.
So apparently, as Charles says, there's a rumor that Bronson Reed's coming back. Anybody hear about that?
Yeah, Charles, let us know. I was gonna wait for that in between pro show, but go ahead, let us know about that rumor.
All I'm seeing breaking right now is from Arbit Shrivasta is saying that rumors are that he is in Orlando right now.
Ooh.
So, if recent reports are anything to go by, Triple H will likely bring back Jonah, formerly known as Bronson Reed, back to the WWE, released more than a year after being released.
Okay, good job there. Ooh.
He did have that run in the G1. He beat Okada, so.
And then, I'll go down the route of I just predict a Dexter Lumis faction coming up.
Possible.
Well, I'll save that.
We'll save that there, and also, that's a lot of juicy. That's a lot of juicy nuggets there. That's a lot of juicy nuggets there. We'll get that in a minute when we'll between the Raw and NXT. We'll talk a little news and notes. Before that we have the next match will be a pairing there was interesting. You had Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles taking on Miz and Ciampa. You know what? I was excited to see these two. Especially that match that they had a week before, Lashley and Styles. We've already seen Ciampa and Miz. We know that they're buddies and they're a team. But I was excited to see them for some reason. I'm not a big Bobby Lashley fan, and AJ Styles, that's just me. He's a great wrestler. He's phenomenal, but it's like the way you see Ziggler, I see Styles. That's the so you can have an idea. Yes, I'm sorry. That's the same way I say about you when you talk about Ziggler. So give me your thoughts. I liked the match. I really enjoyed the match.
And Styles.
Go ahead. Your thoughts.
As a Yankee fan, that's like comparing, in your case, like Derek Jeter to like who's like a very mediocre player. That's like comparing Derek Jeter to Aaron Hicks.
to Carlos Carrera. Yeah, Carrera.
I was saying Aaron Hicks, but okay. Well.
But give me the thoughts on this match here. Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles. They're taking on Miz and Ciampa. And give me your thoughts. You could go with from everything from the match there, and we even had a what was it? Was it a no DQ or no contest? What was the result? Heel.
The result, Ciampa got pinned, if I remember correctly, and the Miz, he got taken away by.
It was a DQ.
It was a no contest. It was thrown out. It was thrown out. Yeah. The match was thrown out.
Oh, okay. Because I thought Ciampa got pinned, if I wasn't mistaken. But
he got knocked out.
Because I was watching on my laptop, and I'm not gonna lie, there was like this short thing, and then Ciampa was like laid out like that, and then they showed Lashley like posing. I was like, okay, I guess he got a pin. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. You sure you wasn't eating a jelly donut while that match was going on? I know you. I know
I-
you.
Hey, anyone who has the internet knows that whenever you have those little like spikes in between, it can really mess up with your head.
That's why they say no to piracy.
But like, but anyway, yeah. So I was like, all right, I actually got the pin, whatever. But yeah, I did see. Do you want me to say his name?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Okay,
Go for it.
I saw Dexter Lumis take the Miz away, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, what's gonna happen here? Is this like the beginning of a new feud? What's gonna happen here? And then, the match was thrown away, and then I was like, okay. I'm like, this is interesting. And then I know there are some people for some reason that are like, oh, I don't like how Ciampa's being treated. He should be booked for this. I'm like, listen. Just like we talk about marinated, you gotta let things marinate. And let me tell you, when you let things marinate, they taste fantastic afterwards. In other words, right now, The Miz is mentoring Ciampa, which is the best thing for Ciampa's career. Give it time. Give The Miz time to mentor Ciampa, because guess what? They're not just talking on TV. You got to remember, guys, The Miz is also talking to Ciampa off screen too, giving him tips, telling him what he can do better, what can he do to get a crowd reaction. And the fact that Ciampa is being mentored, but let's be honest, the best IC champion, in my opinion, if not at least one of them, and also one of the best overall wrestlers right now in wrestling, is amazing. So you got to look at it that way. Things take time. And also, since Gargano is back, if you thought Ciampa's...
Pete, why did you spoiled it again? You guys do this to me, man.
You're the one.
There we go. You know what happens? You know what happens when you do that? You know what happens? You know what?
There you go. You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
At least you had fun with it this time instead of getting angry about it. Like I got heel, and you spoil it. You spoil it.
Yes, because you do this every week. My gosh, you trying. This is like my goodness. You're killing me.
But anyway, that feud should be amazing. Now that Ciampa's being trained. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so we see Dexter Lumis takes the Miz away, and he's a mark for the Miz, by the way. Anything you want to elaborate? Because the big reveal, the cat got out of the bag, unfortunately. So let's go right to the big reveal.
Somebody spoiled it.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
I said Johnny Manziel, by the way.
It's all good.
And of course, we get the one and the only, the return of Johnny Gargano. He's returns. So let me go right with you, Charles. Gargano returns, and I'm gonna go to Samurai because he was the one that's been calling it for weeks on this channel that he's coming back. So I got to give credit where credit's due. But go ahead, Charles, and I'll throw to Samurai because he needs a good pound of flesh to talk.
And I'm just a fan. Okay, I got excited.
Oh. No, loved it. There's just now more and more doors and storylines are opening and expansion. I'll let Samurai take the pound of this flesh away.
Well, what can I say? I called it weeks ago. I mean, it was to be expected. I mean, because he wasn't going anywhere else. He loves WWE. He didn't want to leave in the first place. He left mainly because of the birth of his son, but other than that, like, he didn't want to go anywhere else. He wanted to stay. He knew that they had no creative direction for him. So he was like, you know what? I'm just going to bide my time and wait and see what happens. And look at where he is now. He's on the main roster. Like, there's so many different there's so much potential of what can be. We also had him being interrupted by Austin Theory, and there's a callback to The Way, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
It was him, Gargano, Candice, and Indi. And if you want to go to some extent, Dexter Lumis as well. Yep. So
yep,
I can see what they're doing there. Johnny's first feud back in WWE is with Austin Theory. Of the way.
Oh, I heard someone earlier mention that too, and they even proposed the idea of Gargano winning the briefcase. So,
Ooh.
you know,
Yeah, I would like that.
we
Possibility.
you gotta mention also Theory caught a foot to the mouth. He asked for it. If you listen back closely, he said, "Hit me, Johnny, hit me."
Mhm.
Yeah, but he's just talking about the high five.
No,
Yeah,
I
they're
know,
gonna put a high
but this is a
Things have
different day,
changed.
Johnny. Yeah, things have changed. I love it.
I mean, honestly, dude, I called it for weeks, and
He did.
he'll, you know, he kind of spoiled it for me. He kind of, killed the buzz, so to speak. But it is what it is. I'm not mad at him for it.
But for you, Samurai, this is when Gargano came out. I just thought of this.
I don't know if you guys agree, but for some reason he looks healthier. For some reason, almost like the stress re-energized him, and I was really pumped for him. And also that theme song is still hits to this day. Rebel Heart. I love that theme song. It's one of the best wrestling.
I mean, when they changed his theme song back in NXT, it kind of made sense because he was a heel. Now he's obviously a babyface now, but like when he was a heel when they changed it, I didn't like it at first, but then I'm like, okay, it's kind of catchy because it's like he lost his heart and his soul because of what transpired with Ciampa back before he turned heel. I mean, it was there. It made sense. They can actually go back to that if they so choose to. But
yeah, I think Gargano is just meant to be a face. I don't ever see him being like a permanent heel or a big time heel. I mean, he's like a forever face to me because I think him and Ciampa are just gonna have some amazing feuds also on the main roster. I'll be surprised if they don't. And like I said, they just got to give them time to both build up. And I think Magic's going to happen on its own.
Now, my question to you is, do you think with Johnny coming back, do you think Candice will be back as well?
Let's throw it around the horn. We'll get someone who hasn't. Pete, your thought.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going for. I just said, you as like a deterrent,
We got you.
Yeah, most likely she's most likely gonna be back because there's no way that they're not just gonna hire Gargano without Candice. I mean, yeah, she's gonna be spending time most likely with the child, but at some point, maybe a little later on throughout the year, she'll most likely come back.
Hey, Kev, I found out a new shirt we could release if you ever wanted to. Just have a shirt that said, just have a shirt that points to the person beside you and says, "You spoiled it." Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I was gonna put it. You blew it, but
yeah.
And anybody else? No.
Well, would it be cool if she did? Yeah, but does she have to? No, I think Gargano's good on his own. Like, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't need to happen. Would it be cool? Sure, but it's not a must.
Yeah, I think it's gonna potential like Brandy, like Brandy Rose, with Dustin. I mean with Cody. Excuse me, I got the wrong Rose. Yeah, so maybe that's what it is.
Well, I mean, but also it adds depth to the women's roster as well. And she can wrestle. She's not like Brandy Rhodes. She can't. Brandy can't wrestle. She can't wrestle about a paper bag, but
Well, we'll see. We'll see on that but I'm happy. I'm gonna watch more Gargano's matches. I want to see. But I noticed the difference between heights between Theory and Gargano. But it's not about it's not about the height. It's about the.
I didn't realize that Johnny was like smaller than Theory.
Theory looks like he's small, but he's a big guy there. He's taller
he
than John
is.
Cena. He's
Yeah.
bigger than John Cena.
Well, taller in height, but
Yeah.
not muscular,
No, of course, but you know what I mean. The height,
Yeah.
and
He's taller than most. I think Johnny's like what? Johnny's like 5'7", 5'8", maybe.
It's 5'10".
No, 5'10".
No, John Cena,
Yeah.
I think, is exactly 6 foot,
That's what I
6'1",
read
and
somewhere. I
Austin
don't know
Theory's
if
like
it's
6'4",
correct.
6'3", yeah. And in my head too, I'm like, man, John Morrison should have renewed his contract or something. Because imagine that we could have had John Morrison and Gargano versus the Miz and
Morrison is a free agent. You know,
Yeah.
he's not committed to an organization. He just has contracts from not yearly contracts, just appearances.
And Kev, you can agree with me, and this should be a shirt too. We don't talk about that match with Miro. No.
Oh, Miro.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Which is,
I mean,
yeah.
well, now we're excited that Gargano's in the WWE. We'll see what's going on. Good times because you're getting him. We know we got Hit Row. It's just getting a phenomenal roster there. Now Triple H has got to book it and just get creative, which I know they got good hands because we're going to talk about that in between Raw and SmackDown, the news and notes of the WWE. But we'll go to the main event, which this was worthy just to be on a premium live event, not just a Monday Night Raw. You had Edge, taking on Damian Priest. Pete, you've been quiet for a while. Tell me about this match and your thoughts, the outcome, the winner. You don't go over in your hometown on your birthday, but this is a different WWE, Pete.
Oh boy, Petey Williams from TNA, now being a producer for the WWE, was written all over this match. I tell you that. Obviously, this match was very good. From what was it, that crossface with the bar, that was Damian Priest's face was just so scary.
I
And
had a
then,
picture.
as I was saying, Petey Williams being written all over this as the producer, gotta give him some love doing the Canadian Destroyer. Come on now. Come on
dope.
now.
That was dope.
Obviously this was a great match. If for many people who don't know, this next year, August, will possibly be Edge's last match. It's pretty sad to hear about that, but he's had a very great career. We hope to see what's going to happen in the future before it's time to finally hang it up.
Yeah, Edge is going to go on his turn, and it's good to see that in his hometown in Toronto. With that, now let me ask Terrence, give me your thoughts on that match with Edge and Damian Priest. I know you had the picture with it that we were laughing our butts off in last night. Canadian Destroyer. Before I let you go there, Terrence, was that allowed, a move that was banned by Vince in previous regime?
I don't know if it was banned.
Actually,
I don't think I've seen it while Vince was in charge.
No, I never seen it either.
If you were to go back in like 2019 when Andrade was in the WWE, when he was working with Rey Mysterio, they actually did the Canadian Destroyer a few times, the times they worked. But for moves like that, it's kind of rare to see in the WWE because WWE really doesn't like pile drivers that much because you don't want to hurt somebody's neck.
Dangerous.
The Austin Stone Cold.
Yeah. No, but like when he pulled that out, that I legit popped. Like I was like, oh.
Me too.
With them shit, like
Me too.
I seen like I looked at the front row. I looked in the front row and I seen everybody pretty much had the same reaction. And I was like, oh man. They just followed up with the spear and this pinned him. That entire match was pretty dope. Like Edge, you can tell like he's like. It's good that he's if it's true, like he's calling it like next year he's gonna retire. It's good that he's doing it that way because he's going out his way, and also he doesn't want to like overdo it. Like he doesn't want to be like no disrespect to the Undertaker, but like he don't want to be like an Undertaker or like kind of like a Goldberg or just like somebody like that who's like you don't want to like just stay in too long. He's kind of pulling something like a Shawn Michaels ish thing, Shawn Michaels kind of went out on his terms a little bit. But as far as just like the match itself, I enjoyed that. That was pretty awesome. The finish and everything, and then what happened after the match was pretty dope too.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us what happened. Go ahead. You're free to go. Tell us what happened.
Well, so I'm actually like kind of like as I'm talking to you guys, I'm watching it here as I always do, just the highlights and stuff. And Rhea Ripley with the low blow as Edge is gonna do the concerto, his signature move. And then before Edge can like get the what is it? What is the move Finn Balor does? The
coup de grace,
double stomp, coup de grace, however you call it. Yeah, coup de grace. He does it, but then like they're gonna like I think they're gonna go ahead and concerto him, and then Beth pops in, and I'm like, oh wow! Like immediately, like Edge went out the window. Immediately, I thought about Beth and Rhea going at it for the future. Because I'm just looking at it now, like Beth, she looked like she doesn't play any games, like with makeup on and with makeup off, like her physique and just how powerful she is in the ring, going up against Rhea, and we all know about Rhea. She needs to be future women's champion soon, but just that whole entire segment where like Judgment Day is just pulling back Rhea, and Beth is holding the chair, telling her to come on and stuff like that. It was a great way to go off air. Like Raw ended pretty decently with that. I enjoyed that. So
yes,
for sure, man, for sure.
Right, because Charles, they ended it with the hometown hero over. You send the hometown crowd happy, excited, because one of theirs is supremely over. And let me ask a question. We're gonna send it all the way around. Do you want to see Beth Phoenix and make an in-ring return to it, maybe just to get into a program with Rhea Ripley, despite not winning or losing, but just in ring, just for a program?
Oh yeah, I would love the Glamazon back. I mean, it was just a great way to end it, especially after a good match between Edge and Damian. I mean, Edge always brings it. Been a huge fan of his forever, even whenever he kind of, as we've been talking about, didn't have somewhat of a character, as he was kind of winning King of the Ring and getting his first IC championship back in the early aughts, and then just boom, Rated R Superstar took off from there. And man, I would just love again to see another mixed tag team. You could just do Damian and Rhea versus Beth and Edge, because one thing I just don't get, I get how they don't want to show, I guess, a male hitting a female on TV, but I mean, let's all face it, China was the IC champion at one point. I mean, they show in Edge's documentary, like he's literally wrestling Beth, because he's like, they talk about how he's like, well, I need to train and I can't let anyone know I'm training, and well, hell, my wife knows everything that it is and can take care of me in the ring physically and all that, because Beth isn't exactly short, but let's all face it, Edge is all of 6'4". He's not a small guy. So next to Beth, Beth next to him, she somewhat looks short, but let's not forget she can handle her own. And are we going to do, Ray, Edge, Beth versus the Judgment Day, and then this is where Damian turns, and this is the turn of Damian. Maybe I call it here first, and that's how Beth, Edge, and Phoenix, Beth, Ray, and Edge all loses because Damian now turns on all of them, So Dominic, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, I'm like,
long.
what?
Sorry,
we
my
got
apologies.
You. We get you.
Long.
Already there.
Dad of four with kids all the way from pre-K to middle school. So just it's been
I
botched it.
It's all good.
Didn't botch getting the kids getting to school though. No, So Dominic would love. I think this is where Dominic turns. I think having Edge and Ray there and Beth, it's kind of like that perfect like FU, not just to Ray, but just to like the comeuppance of where he's come from. And I think Triple's gonna put something on Dominic, put a rocket on him with the Judgment Day, and go from there.
All right. Heel. Give me your pound of flesh on. I know your partner is coming to visit you, or probably moving down to Houston. I can imagine you having wrestling matches the way Edge and Beth Phoenix. Boy, not really, but I can, I digress though. But give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I kind of been a big proponent of eventually Dominic turning on his father. As a matter of fact, I remember me and Adam were talking about like fantasy booking Dominic, and I said, man, how great would it be if like, there was like this thing where it was like in order for Dominic to earn respect, to put on the mask, what if he had to beat Ray or something like that? But then he threw away the mask. He's like, I don't need your name or whatever. But obviously, Dominic joining the Judgment Day, and that's the way he turns on his father. I'm like, that would be great too, because like who doesn't want to see just like a heel Dominic basically just disrespect his father over and over again? Who like imagine those promos too that Dominic can cut, on his father about like, I never wanted you to be my dad, or you may be Rey Mysterio, but at the end of the day, I'm tired of living your shadow, or I'm finally gonna break away, or I'm gonna be better.
He just says, "I'm a guerrero."
Yeah, it can be that too. I'm like,
eres mi papá.
It gives Dominic so much ammunition in terms of like the promo, side of things, and I think that's the best thing for Dominic, and I hope they realize that.
And if he does that, the chants that go, "Who's your daddy?" all over the universe.
Yeah.
They can do that to him. They can do that to Theory.
Yeah, and then he can pull Roman Reigns. He can be like, "If you don't shut up, I'm gonna be your daddy," or something like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh damn, that's a good one.
I would love for Dominic to turn heel and be the leader of the Judgment Day. And you know what? And I'll be honest with you, at that point, you wouldn't have to worry about his in-ring ability unless he's like not safe. Obviously, you just have to worry about how good is his charisma, his personality, the storytelling ability.
He's a Mysterio. His in-ring is great. It's definitely his mic skill. He's what? He's 22, 23?
Yeah, he's really young. 24.
I mean, yes. So, he's speaking in front of, and again, I think he's coming from right before COVID, right before COVID, then entering COVID. So he's had to kind of adjust to two different type of promo speakings, how to do promos, and I just think he's a damn Mysterio. He's got it.
Yeah. And I told people that too. I was like, I know some people are like, "Oh, he's green right there." I was like, even if he is, you can totally see it in the ring. The guy's got it. Like, it just, who's here seen the movie Little Nicky?
I have.
Okay.
I talk like this. My brother hit me in the face with a shovel.
You remember that scene where he's sleeping on the rock and the dog's like, the kids got a lot of evil just waiting to come out. That's how I feel about Dominic. I'm like, the kid's got it. He's got a lot of wrestler just waiting to get out.
Who wasn't green in their early 20s at the job that they did?
Right. Absolutely. I remember those days. Let me tease something here. When I say Dominic, there's two things I want to two points I want to. First, I want to tease this one. As WWE gotten a little, I know they wanted to do long-term booking with Mysterio, Dominic turning on Ray. Can you see that the Gun Club kind of one up Triple H by getting Billy Gunn back with the Acclaim? I don't want to jump out of base here. Let's stay with the WWE, but it looks father versus son is going to happen actually this evening on Dynamite. They kind of jump ahead of WWE there on that sense. Hopefully not. But also, that's one part. And the second part is if Dominic does turn on Ray and Ray is left alone, let's say Edge do his own thing, whatever, and it's 4-on-1. I wonder if Rey Mysterio could find three other fellow cousins or primos or friends to join them. But without no spoilers, please. Without no spoilers, we'll tease it for later. I wonder who.
I'm about to say I think he has one, but I think he signed to the other company. Yeah.
We stick around for that teaser. For the next part.
Cough.
Cough. Samurai, give me your thoughts on the main event because you've been quiet. What's your thought of Edge, Damian Priest? Give me so we can wrap up the Raw part so we get into the NXT.
It was phenomenal. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That was short and sweet.
Yep.
Short and sweet. All right. Hey, Raw was banging. Anyone had any thoughts other than I thought the show was phenomenal. It was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. Yeah. What's your thoughts, bro? Give me a letter.
A letter grade. I would say either a nice B+ to an A.
All right, Pete.
Yeah.
I give it an A. It was a great show.
Terrence.
I mean, I'm not into letter grades or nothing like that.
All right.
But I mean, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it's a much better improvement of Raw this time last year. I can just say that. And then also a little tidbit. Like, I got goosebumps just watching Beth and Rhea just standing there. Just like the camera angle going back and forth, looking at Beth, looking at Rhea, looking at Beth. Man, who's next? Go ahead.
That sounds like an A to me, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Charles, talk to me. Give me if you want. What do you think?
A. I mean, again, where we're going with this Triple H era, love it. Just waiting. I mean, who would have expected? We're all waiting to watch a non-big pay-per-view called Clash of the Castle. Like we're excited for the card.
I'm not excited for the time though, on the Central Time Zone, but
right, me either.
Yeah,
it's the UK time. What did you expect?
I know.
Samurai, you'll give me a letter grade on this.
I'm gonna say A.
All right. So we could say a good Raw. It was 3 hours of entertaining. The whole 3 hours was entertaining. Went like this. It went quick. It was it was phenomenal there. No pun intended. So we're gonna get into the NXT user notes, but let me give you first the user notes. It was told that Jeff Jarrett is no longer with the company. He's been released from Vice President of Live Events, and in on his place, Brian, the Road Dogg, James in there. Good job. I'm glad to see the Road Dogg back with the WWE and Triple H. He is now part.
You didn't know?
Ooh, say that again. Hold on.
Better call somebody.
And then he points and he's like, "Where's with the gun?" Yeah.
Hold on a second.
You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
All right, I just had that there.
Just had that. There we go. That's a
I
good.
just happen to have it. So I got excited with that. But that's all there. Also, the Good Brothers in Impact Wrestling are becoming our free agent. Look for them not returning for Impact Wrestling. I don't see AEW neither. Maybe a New Japan run back to New Japan, or maybe WWE.
They might go to AEW because there's a lot of guys that like them.
I don't know. It's too much stack. Too much. I heard no. I heard from other like sources.
They didn't come from WWE, so Tony Khan.
No, I know.
Tony Khan might say not this time. Yeah.
No, Pete, any thoughts?
I think they're just going to be hanging around in Japan for a while, and then most possibly they'll probably join maybe WWE, but that's kind of like a ball thrown far away. It's here and there. Who knows? They might just stick with Japan.
Hey,
I'm not sure which one of the two is a father and wants to stay closer to the home. because they want to be around the family. So I don't know if that's why I'm wondering if New Japan will be out. But hey, money talks, and like daddy's got to pay the bills. The lights got to stay on. I got to go to Japan to work. So who knows on that there. And
hey, Kev.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them just wants to go visit Jesse for a little bit and eat some biscuits and gravy.
Maybe so.
Yeah, if you catch what I'm saying right there.
Maybe so. But we'll see there. We'll see on that there. Another front. Anybody thinking we're gonna get now to the NXT portion? Anyone thinking possible re-signing of Nash Carter?
Please.
You're still hoping for it, huh?
I'm still hoping for it.
Terrence
knows me so. He's starting to know me real good there.
It's not out the window. It's not out the window, I'll tell you that. Like, we haven't heard anything of him in the wrestling world in a while. So.
Let's get ready to the NXT portion of the program.
I think this is where I go because I don't watch NXT.
Yeah, we put you out of here. So
yeah, all right.
Get him out of here.
All right, peace out. We're
gonna send them. We're gonna send it a level up first. We're gonna. Right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna level up.
Yeah. Hey, I just remember to like or die. I'm serious.
There you go. Thank you, Heel. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Boss, man.
See you guys next
time. Easy,
have
boss.
fun.
Yeah.
Later, man.
There we go. That is that is Heel. We'll get into the NXT 2.0 now. Before we get to the NXT 2.0. Want to address something. We were mentioned on a podcast that we were all hungover and we're all a bunch of drunks. That the people that sit in the NXT crowd. Yes, we were insulted by another podcast, the Wrestling Inc. podcast, insulted the NXT crowd that we calling us, belittling us our intelligence. So we're gonna do like DX. And we're gonna go with our cannons, and they also called us geeks. Yes, see, Red Jester knows. So we're gonna be like, hey, you want a war? We got it. You got it. We do it. We're ready.
No. You got to say the Sky Homeboy. You want a war, Chico?
You want to? Hey, hold on. Here we go. Hey, you want a war? You got it.
You got it, man.
You got it.
You want a war? You want a war? Wrestling Inc. Whatever kind of name is that? UN Corporation Inc. Where's the INE stands for? Huh? See you later or something like that.
They were. You know what? They spent 10 minutes talking about charcuterie, sausages, and Ezekiel bread. So
you see that from the Scout Hall, man. Look, that's not no wrestling pod, man. That's not no wrestling pod. They just talk about everything else. You know what I mean?
And you can't blame
where's
them.
The real?
They only watch it from the TV. They're just jealous.
Where the hills? Where the hills? You know? They're acting like I'm not even going to say that, man. They're just a bunch of Chicos, man. Let's move on.
There you go. All right. You see, that's the family, man. Let's go with that. We got a week, about 2 weeks away before Worlds Collide. That's the new name of the pay-per-view coming up. Yes. And we started off with the way we left it. This is what I like about this NXT program. Last week, we were left with the image of both UK champion Tyler Bates with Braun Breaker, and they start to show off with each other, both champions, talking about upcoming channel for title unification. Samurai, you've been watching this longer, I think, than maybe other than Pete, longer than with the NXT, maybe Charles as well. But you're the only one person that saw it on the tube. All of us were there live. Give us your take from being at home when you see those two champions stand side by side.
It is, well, I mean, like I said before. I mean, it's all about people that don't know who Tyler Bate is. They need to watch a Tyler Bate match to understand what he's all about.
Exactly.
For me, I know what Tyler Bates is about because I've seen him wrestle Walter, aka Gunther, and Pete Dunne, aka the other name I will not say. He's just really, really good at his craft. I mean, and then there's Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is just, he's just a genetic freak. No pun intended. He's just very good at what he does as well. He just has to.
Why my freaks at? Sorry, man.
He just has to refine. He has to refine it more. But as it goes, I feel like, it's a really tough match to call because you don't know who's going to win, who's going to, where it's going.
All right. Pete, tell us a little bit about Tyler Bates. Give us your, if you were scouting and you were giving us a wrestling scout, talk to me. Who is this NXT champions for those who don't watch, like Wrestling Inc.?
Oh man, this Tyler Bate, wow man. At his age too, he's only in his early 20s. He's like 25. He's only 25 years old, and he's doing all this amazing stuff from his matches over against Walter and his run. What was it at the Heritage Cup in the UK? From what was it? Him being the inaugural NXT UK champion. Come on, man. This man is the total package. This man has such crazy moves that you have to just open your mouth in awe because this man is amazing. We need more of him.
Okay. All right. We need more. Charles, I know you were front row. Of course, he gets the good seats. This is what Charles do. He gets the good seats. He gets the meet and greets. He opens the doors for NXT. He's over. When you talk about NXT over, that's Charles.
No,
Charles.
no. I got.
He's being modest. He's being modest. He's being modest.
Stepped out.
Charles, we need to get a text message or something, man. We need to get the hookup on how we get that front row seats.
Yeah,
the front row seats is all about waiting. I wait.
Yeah.
I wait.
Yeah.
I got my familia. Mi familia.
Yeah.
I got you.
But we get there early and wait. Definitely. I got a lot of luck this week, but no, that great view. Don, you have a great view too. Where we're literally. We reach arms, we're touching fingertips. So
oh yeah. And also Pete is front and center. You put on the match in the center of the ring, and there's Pete, and of course he's got his facet. With Greg, shout out to Greg, and they're we're all over. So we got a little mafia going in here.
Yeah,
we was on TV. That's all. We're on TV, we good.
Yeah, I mean. It was a great little promo between the two of them. I love the promos they're also showing. I went back and watched some of them because we can't really hear them in the arena so much. So it was nice to go back on TV and then be introduced more to who he is, because that's what they kind of did throughout the night with a lot of the UK people. Was anyone that kind of didn't know about them, they cut a little promo. They showed their little vignette about them that they had. And, I just hope we're not trying to go another Cameron Grimes Braun Breaker. So I'm waiting to see where it goes. I'm excited about where it's going to go.
All right. Promo wise, I didn't hear it. I didn't get to see it back. I would have liked to see it. Samurai, you're going to be our promo guy to tell us the ins and outs on the promos. So unfortunately, we're there live. The promos that they showed on Tyler Bates, justice or no justice?
What? The promos, I mean, they basically were just saying that they respect each other, and that they couldn't wait for the match to happen, and they're going to unify the titles. All
right. Now, let me ask you, we had a question in the chat. What time does I know that right now they're going to hold off. The tapings aren't, it might be discontinued, but normally what time did NXT UK will come on? Let our audience, if you know.
For the American audience, it's 3 p.m.
3 p.m. on which day?
Thursday.
Because I usually will, if I don't watch much of it. I'm going to be totally honest and transparent. It's on the Peacock network. Some of the old videos or the week before, you could catch up and check up on these wrestlers there, these performers, and to see what they're all about. So Yeah, I just wanted to touch that base there for our chat that wanted to know about that. So we'll move on here. I'm excited to see these guys. We get a tag team title match here for the UK tag team. Josh Briggs, Brooke Jensen taking on Gallus. We're gonna finally see Gallus, us, up close and personal. We saw them get interfere last week and do a number on Diamond Mine. They just came out of nowhere. Some people were like, "Oh, who the hell these guys were?" Yeah, just like that. That sound when they jumped over the barrier, we're like, "Oh," So it scared us. But Pete, your first time is in seeing him in person, Gallus in a match. What's your thoughts?
Oh man, seeing them in person for the first time, seeing them way back in NXT UK. Wow, man, it was great to see them. I know a lot of these three guys, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. These three gentlemen back in the UK when they first won the NXT UK tag team titles. Wow, in a ladder match, as- it was just wow, chaotic. It was amazing. And seeing them now in person, especially, yeah, man, these guys, they really are.
Mhm.
They really are Gallus, I tell you that.
I agree with you. Charles, that match with them, they looked it rough. Like they made, Jinx and Branson look big, strong, son of a guns. But that match was good, hard hitting, especially watching it up close the way we were. Whew,
Yeah.
wow.
That hit on Jensen right away. I mean, they bloodied him up from the very beginning. So it was one of those that I like that didn't turn into a different ABA, that Briggs and Jensen aren't going that way, and they actually are developing to these rough and tough cowboy fun characters. So if you get a chance, Don, and I don't know, Samurai, did you hear Fallon prior to the match? I got to rewatch it. When she was being dragged away by Briggs and Jensen, what she said to Lash Legend, it was amazing. Giddy up, bitch, let's do this, she said to her.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was yeehaw, bitch,
Not
let's do
Fallon.
this. And they
Not
dragged him
Fallon.
away. Yeah, and so that was pretty amazing on how the match went. It was definitely rough and tough. And then you had Lash Legend just come out of nowhere and jumped on Fallon. And then, say the least, hell broke loose. You had Pretty Deadly come out of nowhere to attack the NXT UK tag team champions. So then that broke away, and then out of nowhere, here comes the Creed Academy to Diamond Mine to get everything going. And don't know if anyone knows, but Roderick Strong didn't enter the ring until the Creeds and Gable cleared everything, or Kemp
Yeah,
cleared everything.
Yeah.
So
good job. Good job.
let's see how that goes.
That's a little nugget there. Little nugget, little dissension, because they never finished that segment off when
Mhm.
he was accused. So that's unfinished business. That's another storyline. And within a storyline, because got interrupted with the UK invasion. So I love that what's going on with it with Diamond Mine to see what's the ascension, because we know what's gonna happen next week when we're gonna have a 6-man tag. Diamond Mine is gonna be Damien Kemp, along with Julius and Brutus taking on Gallus, but where would Roderick be? It'll be interesting to see and what role he's gonna play. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun situation there. And of course, now we're seeing Pretty Deadly now interfering and wants a piece of the UK tag titles. Now there's a lot of fun matches within matches there.
They have a match. It's actually a mixed tag team
Mixed
next
tag
week.
match, yes.
So
That's right.
you have the Pretty Deadly with Lash Legend versus Briggs and Jensen and Fallon. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited.
And speaking of Fallon, we have a picture of Fallon, but right over there between the ring posts is our man Pete with Greg. There it is, right by the ring post. You can see them, and that's our guys there. Look at, and where is
So where's
Charles?
Pete?
Charles is right there with his son. His son is blocking Charles, but look at those premium seats that Charles has. He has his wonderful son in front of him with the glass. He's sitting right there watching, And of course, wow, those
Okay,
are
so
when it says
so,
as close as it gets, that's as
yeah.
close as it gets.
so help me out with the faces, because I know I'm there every week, but I don't know like who is who again? Run it through for me real quick.
All right, here we go. You see the ring post, the NXT post, in the Blade shirt in the second, actually the third row, next to the young man with the red hat. That's Pete.
Yep.
With the white shirt?
With the white or beige cream color shirt, that's Pete.
Okay.
He's next to the Tampa Bay Bucks, and also he'll probably join us one of these days on the program. He's a friend of Pete and his brother Greg with the Fighters Club. And then Charles is in the front row with the young man with the glasses with the hat backwards. His dad is right there next to him.
Does he have a hat on?
You literally look at the ring post and go left, and the first little kid right there with his arm,
you're
dead.
You're like right behind him.
Yeah. He's just standing up in front of me because his seat was next to me. So we have we have the gate right in front of us, so we just sit right by there in the corner. It's a great view, yeah.
And I was told that facet that's sitting there in the middle, they're better known as JPG. That's the JPG group. That's Justin, Peter, and Greg, the JPG. I was corrected. My producer in the gorilla position told me, get it right, jabroni. So
okay.
It's always good to see the faces there, so the audience know that we actually go to the NXT. We're not the drunk ones. We weren't hungover. We weren't drunk. We were there live, not just watching something else and pretending you're doing a wrestling program.
Yeah, man.
Wrestling.
They don't want a war, man. They don't want a war.
They don't want a war. They don't want a war. Let's keep it exactly. Of course, what I said. We must think a lot here. Yeah, but I love next week. How NXT is setting up for next week, which I'm getting invested week after week. I really enjoy it. So there's a lot of tension though, because we did see backstage where we saw the UK champions meeting the NXT champions and talking about a possible unification bout. That's going to be pretty good because we see these teams go at it, but not with gold at stake. So that's going to be interesting because you got Fallon and you also got Ivy Niles. So the women also. So I love it. There's so much storyline and so much juiciness that could play out there. I'm excited. Samurai, you've been quiet. Talk to me.
What?
Talk to me about the unification of the tag team title belts.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to do that. I mean, I hope they do because, like, what they should do. I mean, Diamond Mine, I mean, as a whole, should realistically, they are almost sort of ready for the main roster. Let's say that, with the exception of Damon Kemp, which I haven't really seen much of him besides what he can do in the ring, and we already know we all know his brother, Gable, is going to the main roster as soon as he is done with whatever he's doing. So, I don't know. I don't know what they do with the tag team championships. It was like I said before we went on air. I'm not. Both teams are not really. I wouldn't say ready. The Diamond Mine is definitely ready, but I kind of hope that Briggs and Jensen, when if they unify the titles, because they need to be down there a lot longer than they are. If that makes sense.
All right. I still think neither tag team is ready for the main roster. Neither the Creeds.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Go ahead, Pete.
I'm going to make a prediction right now, and I feel like I know it's going to happen.
Book it.
Here's the booking decision right here, and I feel like it will happen at Worlds Collide. It will be the Creed brothers versus Brooks and Jensen versus Pretty Deadly versus Gallus.
Ooh, fatal four-way
tag team match.
That'd be nice.
Fatal four-way ladder match.
Yes.
To unify both the NXT tag team and the NXT UK tag team championship.
You know what I just did right now?
It will happen.
That'd be nice. That'd be real good.
You know what I just did right now? I just turned into Tony Khan. Here it is. Oh, yeah. There you go. I just turned into a Mark. That was great.
I feel like it will happen, and it will announce it next week.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal. You don't know how that is. Oh man, Samurai, does that get your maximum male model tantalizing your juices?
What happened? What I missed? I'm sorry. I was doing something.
Dang, he missed it, bro.
I come back and I see just like.
Hold on a second. You know what that you know? Oh wow.
Wow.
Samurai, you know what?
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
Hey, it's time for us to do things. What were you talking about exactly?
So anybody wants to? We're talking about Pete had a real. He got his booking. He booked the most great, one of the best matches. He wants a fatal 4-way unification of the tag team titles. Pretty Deadly, Brooks and Jensen, Gallus, the Creed brothers in a ladder match for the unification of the titles with the tables and all that. Oh my!
I mean, I could see that. I could definitely see that because, like realistically, let's just put it out there. Gallus, Gallus was on top, obviously, but I feel like they would represent the European. Let's just say European. They have more name value than, let's say, Pretty Deadly or Brooks and Jensen. So yeah, I could see that happening if they want to go that route and have Gallus win. I feel like that would be the best route to go, because you have 4 teams vying for both titles, and they can make it must see, basically.
Okay.
And then yes, I would definitely. I don't care for it's fantasy booking at this point, but let's just say they do give the titles to Gallus. It's more name variety. I mean, you've got 2 real life brothers in there. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Creeds are real life brothers too, but you've got Mark and Joe Coffey, and then you've got Wolfgang. They're all just badass as it is.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this true, Pete?
I never heard Greg say it. I thought of it myself.
What about panel members? Do you think we should put them on the list?
You put me on the list, so why not?
I got one. Wow. Talk about politicking here.
Unbelievable.
Whose shout is this? I remember that promo when Chris Jericho cut and what's his face, like, trying to cut to the ring. The guy used to come to the ring with Carmelo. He had like the funny face and stuff like that. He had like the little slick back hair, and like he used to come to the ring like damn, I forgot his name. He's like real skinny or whatever. He's really small.
Hold on. I see the face, but I don't remember his name.
Chris was like, "Whose child is this?" Because everybody was in the ring. He was trying to get in the ring, and then he said some other stuff or whatever, and he was like, "You know what, little child," something like that. You just made the list.
Damn, what's his name too?
I don't know.
I lost train of
tip of my tongue, but let's move on. That was just like something little tidbit I thought about.
That was a funny one. So Pete, we're gonna forgive you on this one. There, like we're gonna forgive you on that one. But you're borderline making the list with Samurai. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know that he said it. So,
should we put the Red Jester on the list then?
Put him on the list
for being instigator. You know what, Red Jester?
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
You just made the list.
Oh no! So
you should have. When you do that, you should have. I don't know if it's possible if you can have like the actual Jericho sound. Anytime somebody makes the list, it's like as soon as you put the picture up, You have Jericho standing in the background. It's like, you just made this.
I did.
It make it so much funnier. I didn't hear it. I just seen the actual.
Yeah, you hear the voice. It says it. It says you just made the list. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I personally think we'll have a prediction next week. You might. I remember. Braun Breaker. You got a NXT guy. I don't think they're gonna sweep Worlds Collide, but we'll break that for another time for when we do the prediction show on the NXT pay-per-view. We'll move on to the next one. It is the debut of the one and only the Grayson Waller effect.
Oh.
Yeah.
He gets so much heat, Grayson Waller. Before I talk about the Apollo and the Grayson Waller effect, was there any promos that I'm missing, any vignettes prior to that, Samurai, that you recall?
No. I don't think there were no promos prior to that.
All right, so let's talk about.
Did you mention? I think you probably did. Pretty Deadly, and Gallows had like a little segment in the back.
They got into a run up. Yeah, they did that. I thought. Yeah, you were right. That because when Gallows won, they got into the actually there was a no contest. Again, another guy.
No. Actually, there wasn't. It was. It
was a count out. It was a count out.
Yeah, Gallus won for rear count out. So
rear count out, but it was a rear count out, and then the Creed brothers just came out of nowhere flying and beat the crap out of them in the ring, returning the favors. Where the security gets the Gallows back into the backstage area, and in the backstage area is what Terrence mentioned about that promo. We can't apologize about not giving you the full essence of the promo because we cannot hear it in the arena. So we're not at home. They play it, but it's music, crowd noise, and chanting that we cannot hear those promos to give you the essence of it. So yes, we do apologize with that. That's what might be different from those fake wrestling from sites that want to attack us and say that we're hungover and drunk. But other than that, we're cheap plug. So back to it. We see that they got into an argument. So setting up heat now, like you said, like Pete wants to, that 4-way match, setting it up, opening that possibility door. Because remember, they got to compete with All Out, even though they're not being simultaneously, but you want to draw people towards that product. A fatal 4-way ladder match, that calls the attention. Like, ooh, right. That sounds juicy. You're good call there, Pete or Greg, whoever's idea was it. But you know what? Y'all gonna have to equal. We're gonna split it down the middle. All right, we'll say Pete had the ladders and Greg had the chairs or the tables. And yeah. We'll go with that there. How's that now? Good compromise? Well, we'll move on there. So Charles, you've been quiet. Talk to me about the Apollo Crews being interviewed by Grayson Waller, calling him and talking about his fake Nigerian accent. I popped for that one.
I loved it. I love that. Again, it felt like you gave two veteran promo guys a mic and just said, hit a couple of keynotes and go from there. And then that's what they did. I'm a huge Grayson Waller fan. He won me over as a heel months ago, and I've just jumped on that bandwagon. And I'll say it, like, first time I watched him, I was like, I don't know if I get it. And then he handled the arena with such ease as a heel, and I was like, I love it. And I've been on board, and how he handled that. I think he went live on Instagram, and like, I think all that was real. All those were real comments on the screen and everything. And in the arena, we got to see all the comments popping up, and loved it.
They added those comments. Those were fake. On the Toronto time.
Oh, on the top.
Because I kept writing, promoting the show. Here to the ring tomorrow, NXT review, and did not pop up.
Oh, no, dude. I mean, they might have a filter system that pushes anything out that doesn't say Grayson on it or like positive. So
you're right.
But no, I think it just was good to have it up there for us because we couldn't really see much of the Instagram thing. So at least kind of have something for us in the arena. Made it good. I mean, again, he's just great on the mic. I'm excited for him and Apollo next week because that's been him and Apollo confirmed for next week. The Diamond Vine with Roger Strong versus Gallus, and then Pretty Deadly with Last Legend. Yeah, I mentioned that. So I'm excited for them to see what they're going to do. Two guys that are just very athletic in the ring, and I love that they just went at each other. It was great.
I agree. Terrence, I know there was a line that everyone popped. Please,
Yes, sir.
please tell us the line that everyone popped from Apollo Crews, the great rebuttal.
Is this the accent that you're talking about, huh? Is this the one? Is that one? He called him out, man. He called him out. Oh man, that was a good like comeback at Grayson because like we wasn't expecting him to actually break out the accent and come back at him. But he was like, didn't you used to have an accent? And then it was like, oh, and then he come back with, is this the accent you're talking about, huh? Is this the one? Is this the one? The crowd was just like, oh, it got even a lot louder for that. So that was an awesome moment, man. That was awesome. Those two on the mic. I think, you know what? Just looking at the different styles, the different personalities, I think there could be some potential great chemistry in the ring. Like we haven't seen those two in the ring. I think I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, me personally.
Waller could go. Waller could wrestle. He could go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like he can go. He has a different style than Apollo Crews. Obviously, like you just see him and you would think that he's just like all power and stuff like that. But if you've been following him throughout his career, you know that he has a lot more styles. He's a high flying, he's power and everything like combination. So just having that and then having a different, I guess, boxing skills or sparring skills or whatever style that Grayson Waller has. If you just think about that those two contrasting or whatever, they're so opposite of each other that I think that pretty much makes for like a great match. Like as far as like the chemistry, I think it has a great potential. I'm telling you. I think the match, if they have it next week, which I think they did announce it, it's gonna be pretty good.
I agree with you there, Pete. Line
they announced it.
They announced it. Pete, give me that line that Apollo just had us all. Besides the accent, he compared him to someone, and it was like,
Yeah, I see that for you.
He basically told them straight up that he's nothing more than a budget Miz, basically. Oh man, I couldn't believe it. We was all just going like, "Whoa!"
I lost it.
That was so funny.
That was awesome.
That was phenomenal there. Samurai, watching it on TV, did it look? Do you want to see more of the Grayson Waller effect, like more like those, or you just want to see give me matches? I don't need that cool down or that promo segment.
I mean, the whole talk show thing was kind of like weird and unexpected because it kind of reminded me of like Miz TV, and that's something that like Apollo said. He's like a low budget Miz, and it's like, what are you doing? You're a wrestler, wrestle, please.
Yeah, but he could talk though.
I mean, yeah. Granted, they both can spit words, but I'm saying like, dude, I just want to see wrestling.
Yeah,
I don't want to see the whole.
Somebody's spilling the beans in the chat.
Hey, it was hilarious.
I don't want to see the whole the whole talk show thing because like, how many times have we seen a Kevin Owens segment or a Kevin Owens show since Triple H took over?
Not much.
Not much.
Exactly.
Now
None.
he just says it now. He just says it's the Kevin Owens show.
I mean, see, that's because he's trying to go back to the way Kevin Owens was back in before, back in NXT. There's a plant there. The plant is where it's at. Yeah, but no, the whole segment was kind of like, it was weird to me. But like when he called him a low budget Miz, that's where I laughed.
Now, I just wanted to point out this picture over on the ring that holding up the sign on the bottom is Charles' daughter, who won the meet and greet to meet Toxic attraction. So salute to Charles' daughter and winning that prize. So phenomenal job. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out there. So with that there, yes, indeed. So we see. So normal. Maybe this is something that they want to do sometime when they want to cool down a little bit of a cool down period with the or they got something planned up for the Grayson Waller effect. Let's see if it continues. Let's say they do it again. Maybe they do that maybe once a month. Once a month. Give me that once a month when he's about to start a new feud.
I like it. I like it
right.
personally.
It's
a talk show. Like I get like comparing it to like the Miz and like KO and even the Jericho or whatever show it's called or whatever. But like as far as just like NXT, like you said, NXT never really had a show. I think they should have something just to have it another layer for Grayson Waller to use and stuff like that or whatever. So I like it.
I mean, I could see just like once a month, not like every week. That you know that's the overkill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when once a month or every 3, whenever he changes about to change a feud with a new wrestler or when he wants to promote another feud, have the Grayson Wall effect, just to promote upcoming feud or so forth. But it would be interesting to see going forward. Now we know that it is going to be. Wow, I can't believe September is right around the corner, and once the September comes, comes spring, actually fall. And it's nothing but pumpkin season, pumpkin this, pumpkin that. And speaking about pumpkin, we have a good old-fashioned squash match with Cameron Grimes taking on Javi right now. But before we even get going, we see Joe Gacy and the Diads up watching this match. So let me ask Charles. Charles, Joe Gacy has a thing here for Cameron Grimes.
Yes, I've spotted it right here on this podcast a long time ago, and it was nice to see kind of how it went, and it's a storyline again that wink wink nod nod was throughout the show. I love Cameron Grimes, love what he does in the ring, love what he does on the mic. I'm liking the change that they're bringing to his character. Don't know how it's gonna go. But excited. It was a great little squash match for him, I guess. Didn't even I think do didn't do his to the moon before he hit it, and that was different. So maybe he is gonna go with maybe he even takes over for Gacy and kicks him out of his own group.
Never thought about that. Nah, an interesting angle there. Terrence, what do you think? Does it sound good there? You guys, we all could sit down and write for creative, man. Wow.
Like as far as like just that interaction is what you're talking about. I don't know if he's like it's possible for him to join Joe Gacy and the crew. It's possible. But I don't know. I can't see it happening. Like I just see like, and I'm not saying like right away, but I just see Cameron Grimes going to the main roster after Legado. Like I don't see him actually joining Joe Gacy. Like I could be wrong. Like it might not be a good fit. Like with Cameron Grimes, and then like you got Joey Gacy trying to hypnotize people and. Well, not even that, but just kind of, doing this thing or whatever. He has his followers like Bray Wyatt. But, I mean, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I don't know how I feel about that right now.
At
the moment.
Pete, give me your thoughts on that good old fashioned squash there. I got a theory, but I want to first. No pun intended. After I hear from Samurai about Javi, but give me your thoughts on the match with Grimes and Javi.
I mean, I feel like it is a possibility he might join the dyad, but by the looks of it, beforehand it could possibly lead to a match of Joe Gacy and Cameron Grimes, but who knows? It's going one or two places. You really can't tell right now at the moment because it's kind of still fresh right now.
I see that. Yeah. Speaking of fresh, Give me a fresh take on this match here, Samurai.
A good old fashioned squash. I mean, Javi got some. Javi, I don't even think Javi got any offense in on Cameron Grimes. I'm not sure. No. No. Okay. Well, yeah, it was basically a squash match.
Now,
but he did. I mean, it is the first time Javi's been on the main NXT show. So
Yeah.
That's right. Wasn't this his debut?
yeah. I mean, he before the actual match, they actually did show him backstage. I think backstage or something, talking to that security guard who I don't know who that is.
That was afterwards, but yeah, with Hank, and he was disrespectful to the young lady.
I mean that was also, but that was also before too, right?
Oh,
yeah, there was 2 segments.
that was with Cam. Yes, that's right. You're correct with Cameron. Yes. With Hank, you're right. That he was a little bit obnoxious. That he called. Didn't he call him an expletive? He called him a.
Yeah.
I think he called him an expletive. You're right.
So I guess what they're doing is they're setting up a match between Hank and Javi.
But isn't Hank's younger son of Wolfgang? I mean, he looks like him. Boy, did that joke go over your heads. You know what?
I don't.
You know what? I'm gonna put myself on the list.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no! Oh, here we go.
Yeah, for a bad joke, I get on the list. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with that, but yeah, no. Yeah, Wolfgang is. I don't think Wolfgang has any kids. I get what you're trying to do there.
I know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, it's just a very odd thing that was transpiring. But then, like, yeah, the match was just like very quick and to the point. Like, he's trying to prove to the Dyad that he doesn't need them. Or schism. It's schism or Dyad, whatever it is.
No, they go under the schism tree to be turned into a Dyad.
Well, either way, it's just I don't know. I don't think that it's the right move for Cameron Grimes to be in the schism or Dyad or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you know, that's the thing we're going to talk about.
You need to free your mind and listen to when the Jedi speaks to Don. So when he asks you the questions, you don't get the spoils. This is why you need to go under the schism tree of the Jedi.
The way you said it. This is why you need to go under the schism tree.
You know, free your mind. Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what they're trying to do with Cameron Grimes. At the same time, it's like he doesn't need to be in a faction or anything like that. Like, he's just good on his own, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Now, yes, go ahead.
And as I said before, I don't want them to cut his hair.
That's true. Because if he goes under the water baptism, he comes out shaven and with haircut. Oh, he's not going to look so great.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw this out there. We're noticing Javi, and I know Terrence is going to know where I'm going with it. Javi's coming out with the white pants, although he blended in with the ring last night. You know, he come out with the white pants with the leather jacket. If you look, next time you listen to his introduction music, listen to the music. It sounds like they're grooming him. You know, he's called Big Body Javi, BBJ, you know, HBK, BBJ. They're trying to groom him like a Latin HBK there. Even the song, it has that little bit, like you listen to it where the Shawn Michaels kind of music there and the mannerisms, and you saw he's coming out smuggish, you know, prickish, you know, we saw him, and watch out there for that push. You know, it could be that could be HBK's protege, that he's going to try to show him some mannerisms of HBK, because Javi's a high flyer, a la Shawn Michaels early days. Remember, he was under Jose Lothario, you know, and when he wrestled, and I'm just saying there's a little bit of a parallel there. Just keep an eye out that for Javi.
No.
BBJ.
Yeah, I agree with that there. So we just got to keep an eye on that there. Now, we get to a match where what I call the People's Champion of NXT, none other than Indi Hartwell taking on the newcomer Blair Davenport. Now, Blair Davenport making her NXT USA debut. We know saw her last week there in a match. Pete, this match with Indi, Hartwell, and Blair Davenport. What was your thoughts seeing Blair debut overseas here? She looked like vicious. I came out of it as she don't look like a safe worker. You know, a couple moves that Indi took kind of worried us.
Yeah, it was kind of weird looking, especially the finish. Like it kind of seems like she dropped her on her neck, but if you were to go back to her history for a minute, she's actually she started way back in Progress, and then she moved to Japan because if you didn't know, she was actually the former girlfriend of Will Ospreay. If you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she was girlfriend of Will Ospreay, and she's would be working over at Stardom for a while, and then she did a little bit of her time over in All Elite Wrestling, and then after leaving Japan, she then came into the WWE as we now know, Blair Davenport. She then faced well, I don't want to say it. She faced the NXT UK Women's Champion in a crazy match, which she then ended up hurting her knee and going into surgery, unfortunately. But then, now as we're seeing Blair, as we see, she's not really that strong. As you can see, her lift, she needs probably to lift a little bit more because as we saw, she was having trouble lifting Indi, especially for the finish. It was kind of a little bit bad.
Yeah, it's a little botchy.
Oh yeah, and we don't do those things here in NXT 2.0. You know that might work for Elevation and Dark, but not here in NXT 2.0, young lady. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a scary scene there, seeing her with that twist there a couple of times, several times there, and before I even get going, before I even tell you, we all know that Blair Davenport beats Indi Hartwell, but during the match there, Indi Hartwell, we call her the People's Champion because whenever she comes ahead of her introduction, they always cut to commercial or long promo, and when instead of just being in the ring and just warming up, she's out there hugging fans, taking pictures, thumbs up, greeting everyone. Our own resident Charles, his son, managed to get a beautiful selfie with the gracious Indi Hartwell. Phenomenal. This is the thing that if I always say it, if you're in the Orlando area and you're going to be on vacation, you want to take a break from the Mouse House, come to NXT 2.0, join us, register, take a Tuesday night, join the crowd, come take it out. You're going to love it. You're going to be entertained with good people, with entertaining wrestlers. And look, they are so fan-friendly. You got to love it. That's why we love NXT, and we're so passionate to talk about it and being there. And we go each and every week. We're like kind of like a family. I look forward Tuesday to see my NXT family because this is like a family. And we just get along with, and I can't stop gushing and saying great reviews about just the whole experience is phenomenal. And that's what WWE brings, like they say together, then, now, together and forever. Exactly. I mean, they're making that experience live each and every week, not just with the wrestling, but with the people we meet. But I digress. Indi Hartwell falls to Blair Davenport. I wasn't excited with that match there. At the end there, and she was on the ring down on the apron for quite some time. Just work, I guess the wrestler. But then they cut another promo because Blair was grabbed the microphone, was talking about she wants a title match, and out comes the current NXT Women's Champion from Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose herself comes out and saying, I love that interaction there. Pete, what's your thoughts before we even say what else happened? Because there was so much here in this segment to unpack.
I don't know. It kind of seemed kind of weird at first because for her to beat Indi and then immediately declare herself for as the number one contender. I don't know. It's kind of weird in some sort of way, but to do the NXT 2.0 versus the UK storyline, it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense now in some sort of way,
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Charles, we saw that she declared herself, and Mandy was like, "I gotta put some you gotta put respect."
Mhm.
And
You gotta put some respect to
act
that
on her. She's the
name.
300 plus days as champion. And by the way, the leotard she was wearing, folks. I mean, oof. We got
She
interrupted by the UK women's champion,
Uh-huh.
Samurai. Yeah, I know you were excited when you saw the women's champion come out from UK. Tell me about it.
Miko Satomura,
Yes.
the great one, the
The
final
final
boss. The final boss, man. She's just good, dude. She is currently, I think she's undefeated right now in NXT
Oof. So
UK.
she got an Oscar record going.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I mean, like, she's a legend in her own way, in her own right. Um, I just feel like what we're gonna get is gonna be it's gonna be phenomenal. I don't know what the outcome will be though. That's the thing. Like I'm not Nostradamus, but I will tell you that Mandy Rose is not winning.
Mm-hmm.
Oof,
Oh,
I don't.
interesting.
I don't know if I agree with that fully.
All
I
right.
don't.
I mean, that'd be
Know about
interesting.
that.
I agree with it.
It's gonna be. They made it. I love that they made it a triple threat. I think there's gonna be some sort of little interference or something. If they're calling one of them's going up, I feel like one of them's gonna go up.
Now,
It's got to be Mandy.
One of who? Mandy or Mika?
It's got to be Mandy that's going out.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
maybe she shot. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a good match, but man, there was a good promo by all of them. Blair had a tough crowd being being new and not being the champ, and Mandy, she owns that place. She
yes,
owns that place.
that's her house indeed. That is her house. Let me go to this picture here, folks. This is our guys here in the middle row. That's the JPG right there in the middle there across. That's Pete, and of course in there. So we always like to point them out, or always like to be part of the pictures. And Pete was part of the promos. Congratulations, Pete! You were part of the promos when Tyler Bates came out. We saw him jumping up for joy. It was cool to see that.
Yeah.
It was awesome there. So we get these three ladies. I personally think you bring in Davenport because you don't. Neither one of these ladies get pinned. You could keep Miko's. You could keep her on the sweetest streak going. You could also take the titles off of Mandy without her actually losing. And there's so many possibilities. Or Blair might just win it all.
Well, you
So
also have to realize that Blair, if you didn't hear her say, she was the current not United, Jesus Christ, she was the current number one contender for the UK Championship. So it makes sense for her to be in the match.
Yeah.
So if she wasn't in the match, she would have probably gone on a tangent.
would have been good if the goofball Pat Roxanne didn't given her cash in her title match and wouldn't gotten and would have been a fatal 4-way. Would have been
Yeah.
because I don't know if you could say Nikita's clear to wrestle. Because then it kills the credibility of the tag team tournament. To put Nikita Lyons in there, you could put in Nikita Lyons now. Boy, you talk about people who don't know who the hell to root for. You telling me give me a fatal 4-way with those 4 women? Wow.
Well, Nikki Lyons, I'm pretty sure only couldn't go because she wasn't vaccinated to Canada, and the timing it took. I was unexpected. You're going to be in the tournament, and I believe she was unvaccinated or wasn't up. It's something that's a rumor I heard from
Yeah.
I believe What Culture posted on it just to give credit, so that way I don't steal information.
No, you were right on that. You're right on that. But here's the thing: they didn't say she was because of COVID. They just said because of an injury. So they don't want to look like they don't want to bring that political stuff because of the vaccination, not
okay.
vaccinated. So they consider an injury. I don't know if she's going to be recovered enough time to be put in there. But anything can happen. Remember,
Well,
expect the unexpected.
You can be vaccinated and not have boosters, but the vaccination is so far long. Your second one is done, then they require the booster. I had to deal with that traveling to Portugal this year. But I mean, this is gonna be a great match again. I mean, even my son is overjoyed, thinking Mandy Rose is gonna win it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see who wins that match there when a triple threat there. And then the ladies leave the ring.
Oh my God.
The ladies leave the ring, and we get promo. We come back from a break, and we see poor Indi, man, just there crying, and out of nowhere, underneath the ring, the surprise of all surprises.
Hold on.
None other.
Can we pause for a moment?
Yes, we could pause.
Let's just quickly remind that during the commercial break, throughout that whole time, Indi was on the outside, laid out on the floor.
Exactly.
I was like, wow.
I thought she had went to the back.
I
thought she had went to the back. I didn't know she was still there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because it got dark. They went to they turned the lights down, dark there. They had a couple things on the trying to distract us. So, Batista segment about him in WrestleMania. Like, are you really good dudes? Yeah, like, wasting our time with that. But all of a sudden, she's cutting a promo how things, since March, nothing's changed. She's still in the same place as she was in March. She has nothing going on for her going right. And out under the ring, out of nowhere, comes Dexter Lumis. And I don't know, Pete and Charles. I'm not trying to get a pat on my back, but what did I say when we were doing the line on NXT? I did say if you're creative booking, you have Dexter Lumis on the show, but I got it wrong. A quarter of it, but I said I would have had him bring Miz at least in the car outside in the parking lot.
Right.
Or that him try to get away, and you hear Miz in the trunk, and that's when the not to kind of jump forward.
No, go for it.
That's when they did their whole thing, but at the end the police came in, but maybe instead like they get to the car, and as again you like hear like just something in the trunk, and then he still gets arrested. So just because I was shouting, "Where's the Miz? Where's the Miz?"
Huh?
Yeah.
We'll put the pictures here. We'll see Indi there, and he comes out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden she turns around, they get in the ring, and of course the moment that everybody's been waiting for. I think I saw Pete with a little tear on his eye over there. You see the big kiss there, and of course, and then. And then she leaves. She leaves in the arms of her man, and she leaves in the arms of her man. That's
beautiful
the
love note at the end.
And then, of course, when we get another promo, the beautiful love note. Wait, let me find the love note. And here's the note he gives her. But he says for now. When you read the note, it says for now. So to be continued. And then the scene that everyone loves. I mean, that's the one that he goes away. They arrest him. But the one he just opens the door and he just leaves iconically. I don't think I downloaded that one. But he does the scene there like, whoa, phenomenal. Yo, that segment was phenomenal. Samurai, you're at home. Us, we popped in the arena. We were marked. Man. We marked out. What at home, man?
Well, I mean, it was the same ambiance from me being. If I was there, I would have probably popped too. But I mean, I expected it because it was basically him saying his final goodbye to Indi Hartwell for now. I tried to see what the notes said when they showed it because it was at a weird angle. Like they didn't show the full thing. They showed they showed the top part and then like the heart. I saw the heart. I didn't see what the other part of it said, but I don't know what they're doing with that because like if they were to bring in Indi up to the main roster right now, What would she be? Would she be positioned as a heel or face? Because like technically Dexter's a heel.
We don't know what Dexter is though, because he's attacking the Miz. Miz is a heel. We
I
don't
mean,
know.
well,
We don't know. We don't know.
yeah,
What
well,
You really don't know.
let's just say for argument's sake that Dexter is a heel, but
Okay.
he did kidnap the Miz, who's a heel. So would that make him a face?
I don't know, because the face don't do those type of things though.
I mean, but
You gotta do
it's
dark stuff to sometimes get the job done.
but it, I mean, but like it is the Miz, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It is the Miz.
it's the Miz. So I'm not sure if Miz is a heel or I mean, Miz is a heel, but you know, Dexter's a heel or what? Like it's all confusing to me. So I'm not sure what they do with that. Like they had to type this in, so they did that. That made everybody happy, especially Big Joseph.
Mm-hmm. The note said, "See for now." It just said, and the little on the question quotes it said "for now" because I'm looking at right now here, and so like to be continued. So that's gonna continue there. I loved it. We all loved it. We all enjoyed it. We all got excited for Indi, and it was just phenomenal, man. It's like wow, how can we continue from that? But it got better. It got better.
She got her closure. So
no, that has ... for now. That means to be continued. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know. Well, that's what I mean. That's what I said for now. She got her closure for now. But let's see where they go with it.
I think she's gonna be more confused. I think she's gonna go get her friend Candice LeRae, and they're gonna bail him out. They're gonna break him out.
I could see that. I could see her doing that with Candice because and then they all go to the main roster, be one happy family.
The unhappy family. We'll see there, but we'll move. Man, good for Indi. We'll move on that. We have a match. We have again the Dyads taking on Tony D'Angelo La Familia with his new lackeys there, the cousins, los primos. Raheem Wild and Cruz del Toro come out for a tag team match. Now, when the match starts, we see Cameron Grimes now in the position up high watching the Dyads. Charles, I like that. Talk about fair play. Was good for the goose is goose for the gander type of move there.
Mm-hmm. And it was a good match, a story inside of a story. You got Tony on stacks just screaming at those members in there, just members of his family let him know that the luchador stuff isn't what the family does, isn't what this family does, and he just so that's that story there. But other than that, they were everywhere. They're hitting some moves left and right, hitting some nice dives. Then you have the comeback. Dyads ended up winning at the end, but I love how they're trying to present to Cameron again, and two stories already inside of another story. They're trying to present again to Cameron that this is a loving family. Look at this, because then you have on one end, outside of the ring, you have Tony slapping some of his family members around, his new family members around on the inside of the ring. You have Joey Gacy hugging the Dyads and showing them praise, and Cameron looking on. So I don't know how this is going to go. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Before I throw it around, there was a lot of hugging in the arena. I even got a hug from my wife. That was awesome. Now, Pete, the match and the results. We'll talk about the aftermath there. What was your? The match was fine. It was. I liked the Legado with the luchador styles. They had a hell of a match.
Yeah, definitely. This match was great, man. I was on my feet for most of that because it was just like, wow, man, this is exciting, especially for Legado, because they were, you saw those offensive moves they were doing, man, it was crazy. Freaking, what was it? Wild was going crazy with jumping off the middle rope and everything. I was like, man, this is awesome.
That was, and the Grizzly Young Vets, they're known as the Dyads. they bought it as well. They were really decent. They were really good. I was impressed with them. Despite the fact, we know what Cruz and the Toro are gonna bring, But wow, Terrence, I know you were next to me. We enjoyed that match.
Yeah, man, that was pretty cool, man. That was pretty cool. I was more impressed with the Legado portion of that segment or match. I mean, because those guys are. I can never get over like just how fast and quick those guys are, how impressive they are in the ring. And yeah, what's everything cool over there? You good? All right. It was just a little noise. I didn't want to continue. But yeah, no, like I was impressed, man. Like I enjoyed that, but it makes sense for them for that to go how it went to. So, but yeah, man, that match was still good. I think around this time I was still like just getting over Dexter.
Yeah, no, that was a tough one though. That's a tough one to come after because the emotions went really high. The emotions were extremely high with Dexter because man, he was just 24 hours ago in Canada, in Toronto. For him to get on a flight and be in Orlando like that, I mean, now with modern traveling, of course, but it's still with customs coming from another country and do all that. It was we are, as us as the performers in the performance center as the NXT universe, we actually appreciate him being there and entertaining us live and in person. So I think that's why we got that pop and that roller coaster of emotions got us there. It was phenomenal. And then not only that, I understand why we didn't get too excited with the match, especially we seen that the Dayats won and we're like, and then Cameron didn't do much. He just stand there like a statue. Like, okay, what it was like, okay, we just had this great moment. You're there like a statue. You didn't do nothing. And our guys lost, and then Tony D'Angelo, you're gonna belittle, berate and belittle Cruz and Joaquin, and you're gonna bring that, now you belong to me. All right, what next? What next?
Whatever.
Yep.
What next? And then, long and behold, they went to commercial break, and I'm gonna go ahead and we see. You've got the remaining members of Legado del Fantasma, Cruz and Joaquin and La Madrina coming out and says, "Man, what a terrible night, man. We got no luck, man. This night sucked." Out of nowhere, a big black beautiful Yukon pulls up, windows roll, and it's none other than Santos Escobar, and he says,
Thank goodness.
"I am not gonna leave my familia. Get in. We're going." Samurai, what was that all about? Woo!
I mean, I expected it. I did. Because, he's not going to go to the main roster by himself. Like I told you on, what was it? When we did SmackDown last Friday. They need tag teams. They need tag teams, and Legado del Fantasma is a good tag team. They can do pretty much do anything. It could be, they can do it. They can do it anywhere they want. They can do it they can do Joaquin and Escobar. They can do Escobar and Joaquin. They can do Joaquin, Escobar, and I hope they change the name back to Raul. But I don't know. I mean, it's where it's at, and I knew it was going to happen.
That was awesome.
It was a great move. Loved it.
Awesome. It was amazing.
That was another one that way it was a huge pop too. When the Reynolds rolled down. Jeez.
I mean, you kind of knew it because he's like he didn't go anywhere yet. But I wonder when we're going to see him debut on SmackDown.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was mentioning earlier in the first part of the program that I teased. I said let's leave it for a little later. We have a triple threat match with Judgment Day, Edge. We know Edge is gonna probably do on his own thing. Let's say they leave Mysterio alone, going after Dominic, and they jump Mysterio. No Edge there. The Edge is not here tonight, and Mysterio is getting pummeled by Dominic and Judgment Day, and it's it's pretty much 4-on-3, and all of a sudden you hear the Legado, Fantasma, Familia, Luchador, Mexico. Oh man,
Legado.
No, it would pop, and then you can let Ray get some time off for a little bit, and then you have, especially if Judgment Day goes over on Edge and Mysterio and all them, then they look more superior with building up Legado.
You're kind of patching the torch too, Charles.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio passing. I know he would love to pass the torch to his son, but you know what? Let my son do his thing. We'll get it there. Hopefully you return the favor to my son. I'm gonna, because you know that Santos has come with the mask, but he respects the wrestling luchador style. He kind of like ushers in and puts him over. Like you know what? You're the next Rey Mysterio. No one will be like Rey Mysterio, but you'll be the next luchador. The next star. Take the reins here in the WWE, man. I love it. I'm excited with that.
What I mean, I've seen people say that Legado, Ray Dominic would be a better fit in Legado than Judgment Day. I mean,
they had a little bit of beef earlier, but you might be right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can call back to when Ray went down to NXT. And they had that. I think they did have a match, right?
No, there was more of a disrespect backstage type of thing.
Yeah. I thought if they would have had a match, that would have popped big with the crowd. But now that potentially Ray and Legado, all of Legado are going to be the same on the same roster, it's a bigger potential now than it was back in March. Or May, whatever it was.
I think it's even larger now. To be honest with you.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. It'll be interesting because we all know SmackDown will be the preference choice. But if Ray is needed help in Raw, or maybe they just jump brands, let them be tweener and figure out which one needs to show more of Legado Fantasma. But man, you think about that introduction. Playing in those arenas, oh boy, that's gonna be phenomenal.
Jeez.
Yeah.
When he gets really huge, and then like, I'm just looking forward to that big pop. Like we had in the NXT arena. Imagine hearing it in an arena or in a stadium.
I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it either this Friday or next Friday. Legado del Fantasma shows up on Raw, or not Raw, SmackDown.
Well, you might be right. You might be right, especially if a certain group goes on too much and their singing sucks. I wouldn't mind Legado to just come out of nowhere and interrupt them.
Squash them a little bit.
Yeah. Or someone with a little bit, somebody wants their juices tantalized, and you know what? I can't taste this. Their juices tantalized.
I mean, I could see Legado versus Hit Row. I mean, they do have a female, but then I think I wouldn't want to see beef after the ring.
Or Maximum Male Models, because Sofia Carmel doesn't wrestle as well. I don't think she does. And Elektra Lopez needs more work.
I've never seen Sofia Carmel wrestle. Has she wrestled before?
I don't know. That's what I was asking. I never seen her wrestle either. But if she's in the WWE, she's got to have some type of wrestling. I mean, those days of just being there, Miss Elizabeth days are kind of over. They got to have some type of in-ring ability whatsoever to take a bump or something. I believe she could wrestle, because we know when Nala wrestled, and she just turned out now, they're putting her through tables, do it with a 300-pound woman. So you never know what that goes there. So, but I'm excited for Legado del Fantasma. I'm excited for what's going to happen here. It's sad for us. We're not going to see that intro in the NXT popping, and what's next for Tony D'Angelo. All his family is like, gone.
Just him and other guy. That's it.
That's it. Him and, it'd be interesting to see where he goes from. His family has been depleted. Hey, I told them I'm right here. All we need is tag. Tag me, I'm in. Tag, I'm in. One down from another. But we'll move on. We have the champion, UK champion, Tyler Bates, take on Von Wagner. And I know Samurai every week asks, what's a Von Wagner? But each and every week, though, Von Wagner looks more like a obstacle. I've always been a Von Wagner fan. I'm going to say I'm maybe one of the few only fans, but I like Von Wagner. Tyler Bates, I was impressed with Bates, although he, the stature, I still can't. I'm still programmed like Vince McMahon to think about the Giants. The champions have to be giants, and they have to be bigger, larger than life. So I gotta break that stereotype, that stigma that McMahon has got me over 40 years thinking my champion has to be a big monster, big obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not feeling Tyler too much, as because I to beat Von Wagner is like. But it was a good match. I'm not gonna lie. It was very good, very entertaining. But
it was a very good match. I mean, like I told you before, Kevin, you have to watch his matches with Walter and then with Pete Dunne to really get that feeling of what he can do in the ring. Like Walter's a big guy. Don't get me wrong. Yes. I mean, he's about the same size as Von Wagner. And Von Wagner, and they have the similar stature, so you would think that you would think he would kind of dominate, but he really did.
Walter was heavier, wasn't he? Walter was fatter.
Yeah, Walter was a lot heavier. But you have to go back. I can't remember which it was it a takeover for NXT UK? I'm not sure. Maybe it was. It probably was. But yeah, you have to go back and watch it. While NXT UK is still in existence.
All right. Charles, the match, your eyes being there.
Oh, wow. I mean, Tyler Bate, it was amazing seeing him first time in person live. Caught a couple of his matches on UK and then rewatched some just prior to going yesterday. And man, seeing him against Von Wagner, talk about a way to put a guy over. Again, what is Von Wagner? He's someone that got beat by Tyler Bate. It just felt like also Shawn Michaels produced match. It felt very what you would almost kind of see what the Heartbreak Kid versus Diesel back in the early 90s, just with the size difference of trying to work the match, and it worked really well. And that's why I think doing this match is a good way to be like, no, he's a legit contender versus Bond Breaker.
You know what? You thank you, because you show me the light there with that Shawn Michaels Diesel reference. Appreciate it. Thank you. I actually, good job there. You actually convinced me. It's like, good job there. Good job. Kudos.
Good job.
But Pete, give me your thoughts, Pete.
Man, it's Tyler Bate, man. He never fails to impress me. Like always, especially every time when he does that rebound clothesline, it always
that was nice. I never seen that before. Sorry to interrupt, but that was nice.
And then also when he does the fake out punch where he raises right and then punches him with his left, it's always great seeing that. Man, he always I could have wished he would have hit him with the Tyler Driver, but obviously he's too big. But can't wait to see it. This really is putting this Braun Breaker Tyler Bate match to the test now, because now I feel that Tyler is really gonna have the chance to become the undisputed NXT champ. I can't wait.
Wow. All right. Nice. All right. Terrence, your turn, buddy.
I mean, the match was pretty good, like it's my first time seeing him wrestle. Like at all in person or on TV or whatever. But from what I saw, it's pretty good. I think your boy kind of hit the nail on the head as far as just like a Shawn Michaels versus Diesel type feel. Just the way like how it's presented and stuff like that. But for the most part, I did like for that rebound clothesline, just like a little tidbit. Like I think when he first attempted to do that, I heard somebody in the audience was like, "What the hell was that?" What he just do? Because at first he didn't knock him down, He was like, "What the hell is that?"
I think that was me.
It probably was. No, but like as far as like that finish that he had, the coming off the top rope. I'm just looking at the replay over here, and man,
Spiral
it's
tap.
It's pretty. Yeah, that's a good name for it too. That was nice. That was nice. I still have to see like a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but still like a lot more matches, I should say. But as far as like what he did with the big guy in the ring, that was pretty decent, dude. I like that.
And it looked great for Wagner too, because he can work. If you can work a little guy and work a big guy, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine next week. Next week they put him against Sanga.
Who? Oh, Sanga. I think they kind of need to balance it out. Maybe put him against somebody not as big as you know, to see what he can do for us. To see what he can do. Like we already see what he can do against the big guy. Let's see what he can do like with somebody like kind of similar to his size a little bit. You know, I mean, you know, that's just throwing it out there.
Yeah, because they kind of want to show that he can handle the powerhouse, a big guy like a Van Wagner to Braun Breaker. I'm saying they're not the same, but I'm saying you know what I mean. Powerhouse, big guy who's strong, who could overpower Tyler Bates, and he handled it well. Maybe they put Braun Breaker against another wrestler who's maybe smaller. Yeah, but he already had a fight with Cameron Grimes though, so you could. I'm not comparing Grimes and Bates the same, but you know, I don't. It'll be interesting. Or maybe they put them together in a tag team, and like you know how but that's Vince McMahon always. Like before they go at it, they tag them up first for one match, and then you know they're gonna fight in the premium event, but they tag them the week before to see if they coexist. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see Triple H doing that. I don't.
No, I know. I know. Like I said, I'm still programmed with Vince McMahon in my head. You know, with the old mannerisms of it. You know, man, watching the product over 40 plus years, you kind of it takes heart to get into the new Triple H. But I love it. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna resist it. I'm like opening it with I'm embracing it with two open arms. You know, wide open. We'll move on there. That was impressive there for Tyler Bates. Now the main event, one of the best women's hardcore, one of the second best, because I'm going to say Impact Wrestling's Queen of the Mountain match to me was the top hardcore women's match that I seen. But this lights out match, it's not really hardcore, but it's lights out. Tiffany Stratton taking on Wendy Chu. Now, first and foremost, Wendy Chu took the Chu, but not last night when she took that onesie off.
Not last night.
Oh man,
it was actually not bad.
She was serious.
Yeah, she was mean, serious, ready to go. It was like, whoa, the Chu was ready to get down. The match was freaking phenomenal from Wendy Chu, Tiffany Stratton with that look. You know, the braided look was, to me, it reminded me of MMA fighting. The women ready to go in there to the octagon and ready to lay some violence. And that's what the vibe I got from Tiffany Stratton. I was like, yes, this looks UFC. Let's go kick her rear end. I love the presentation of the match. I love the in-ring match. It was, no botches, but it was a perfect, you could say kind of hardcore match without really calling it lights out. Pete, we saw this match with all the near false finishes. We saw a bed being put in place. We saw even freaking Legos in the match. Man, give me your whole thoughts, because this was worthy of a main event in your eyes. Yes or no? Talk to me.
Well, you know what they say, thumbtacks are always are not as worse than Legos. Wow, I can't lie. This time, even though I don't like Wendy Chu, I gotta say she earned my respect right there.
That's some respect.
That was one hell of a match, because for me, I almost thought that when Tiffany did the double stomp while she was on the floor, right on top of the Legos, I thought it was over from there. And then when she kicked out, I was like, wow, this is something. And then when she put her right through the bed and pinned her for the 3 count, I was like, wow, man, she is something. For the first time, I actually was like, yeah, finally, she's serious for once. I was like, man, this is great. For me, it's like, wow, Wendy Chu, now I want to see more of that. more of that seriousness in her
Mhm.
right there.
I don't know when that match ended. I was in the mood for some milk and cookies.
Cookie Monster.
Okay.
Terrence, these
Yeah,
ladies
yeah,
bought it. I know when we saw that onesie go, we're like, whoa, look at the chew.
yeah. And, you know, I seen it from when the match first started. Like she looked so much more comfortable and so much more like just like open and like she was moving a lot better in that like you know that the whole onesie thing that she had going on is like you can tell just comparing that to last night. Like she wasn't as comfortable just doing that. She was just like to me that's just something like she just like kind of if she's gonna wrestle, she'll wrestle for a little bit, but that's mostly like just for like backstage promos and something like that. But as far as like when it's time to wrestle, what she had on last night, and not just what she had on last night, what it made her feel like as far as like just her being able to like move, the physicality and that entire
Speed.
match, yeah, the speed. That's the word I was looking for. Like she was a lot faster. She was a lot faster. But and then like the attitude, the aggression that she had going on. Um and then also like that freaking moonsault from Tiffany.
That was
That was
perfect.
beautiful.
That
Even
was
though she
perfect.
missed, but it was executed
She got
perfect.
height. She got serious height on that man.
And she sold it.
So
She sold
yeah.
it when she missed.
Great
The
sell
selling
right
job.
there.
The power bomb on the trash can on Wendy, like
Ooh.
that
Oh my
mat.
god.
Yeah.
Dang, I can still
It,
feel that in my back.
they
Jeez.
and then who was it? Wendy caught Tiffany with a knife hand chop that could be heard still to
Oh,
this day.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what the heck? It almost was similar to what Giovanni did to Mello the
Yeah.
previous.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
She chopped
if
the
you
hell out.
if you don't, I'll just say this: if you don't know what I look like, go watch that match, and you'll see me and my fiance popping out because her and I were just jumping up from those chops, and that was bad. This match was amazing, though. It was everything that we wanted. I'm still in shock. Wendy won. That made my daughter a little bit sad. A diehard Tiffany Stratton fan. Son was a little happy. He is not a Tiffany Stratton fan. I think he's watching us right now, actually. So he'll be happy to hear that whoever's not okay with Tiffany winning. So it was a good match. Got a lot of respect for both of them. Even though Tiffany lost, she still won. She went over last night.
Yeah,
Yes.
she did
That-
pretty damn
Definitely.
decent, dude. And then like I was okay with the result. I was okay with the entire match, obviously in itself. And then like just like to go back into it, who else thought? I don't know if it was just me. I thought it was like when she pulled the pillow out. I thought it was like thumbtacks in there.
Mhm.
I wasn't even thinking about Legos.
You could hear
They
it.
probably should.
We could hear the sound, right, Terrence?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I probably
Legos are
should have
worse.
because and I probably should have thought it could be Legos, but just because of Wendy's character, I probably should have like thought about that. But I was like, I immediately because like I've been watching wrestling for so long, and then you see bags and stuff like that, and you hear stuff in them, you immediately think it's like thumbtacks or something like that. So when she Legos is something else too. So like just them landing on that was like insane.
Right. And look, you don't have to have a match. And you can have a match, a hardcore match where you don't need blood. You know, some guys just
Right.
they
Oh
get body
no.
slam. They get body slam and they're bleeding right off. They get busted
Mhm.
open, bleeding. You know, we're probably gonna see it tonight at 8 o'clock. You know,
John
and
Moxley.
the other match, yeah, that clown. He wipes his butt. He wipes his rear end and he's bleeding already. So
Like
Samurai
side.
watching it at home, the Legos, the match. I'm gonna ask you this before. I made an observation, and I'm gonna ask Samurai. I'm gonna go around. I'm thinking they're setting Tiffany Stratton to a face now. There's a reason why. When she came out in the beginning, when they dimmed the lights, she acknowledged the crowd. Usually she ignores us or snobby, but she was very more aggressively cheering, more like Mandy Rose type when we acknowledge Mandy Rose, even though she's a heel. but she gets over with the crowd because she acknowledges, she plays up and listens to her cheering section. And also the way she came out, her mannerism looked like turning like a face. Is that something that could work, Samurai?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see her being a face, but at the same time, it's like, was she really just like, maybe she's just playing up to the crowd, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She's usually snobby though. She acts like she detests us, and last night that wasn't the case.
I mean, her whole gimmick of daddy's girl doesn't really work. So I could see her being more of a face than anything else. So maybe it was like a transition period. The match was like a transition period of her being from heel to face.
Could both ladies be switching places, like Wendy Chu now with the onesies, but the pajama that type be the heel?
I mean, I couldn't. Wendy Chu's best heel was when she was with what is her name? Megan or May. God, what was her heel character?
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy Chu. When she was with Xia Li and Boa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't think of what it was. I think it was like May or May Lee or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she heard during that time when she was just a 1,000-year-old corpse or a spirit or whatever the hell she was. That was her best.
Hey, Ying.
That was her best like heel work. I mean, that was when she had her. I think she was injured, right? Yeah, I think she had like a torn something or other. But yeah, she was injured for that entire run.
But it was somewhere around her leg. It's lateral malleus. Yeah, that's like somewhere around the knee, kind of.
So she had a knee problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't the meniscus or the ACL, the PCL, or the MCL or anything like that. I don't know how I know all those ligaments in the knee, but I do.
You got
the ankle. It was the ankle. It was the ankle actually. For
the ankle, all right.
Spent 2 years actually, going 2 surgeries for that.
Wow.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's serious. But maybe her change now to Chu to go heel. Remember now, NXT's on Tuesday nights. Not a lot of young kids or children will be going to NXT due to school starting, the way it comes out late, so forth. You still have them, but maybe her character was more placated to when kids were out of school to get merchandise. Maybe the merchandise ain't selling. A revamp for Wendy Chu. Who knows? With that, I think she might turn. I think she's going to stay.
I do think like I'm going to go ahead and say I agree with you on that because like I don't think that the whole thing about the sleepy time gimmick I didn't like. I didn't like it from the start.
I know you didn't. Wasn't a fan
either.
It was just weird to me. But I do see her going to a more serious
Yeah, and role. It would be amazing because I think she has the talent, in-ring talent to do it, and her quirkiness on the mic, I think, can be turned into something good as a serious face instead of this weird face. I think Tiffany's staying heel. I just think she's now got some more respect to her name. So it's gonna be. I don't know if the daddy rich girl gimmick's working anymore because what's that? That's not really much. So I would definitely like to go with if they go more uppity. I'm still down with that. She's just a great heel. Love
you
her.
don't think the daddy rich girl works? Look, you could be CEO of a $1 billion wrestling company.
Well, it worked, but they built on that. Like Stephanie became a bit. Stephanie turned on her dad to become a heel, and then went with a Triple H, and it was a build. And I mean, a little bias. Also, Tiffany gave if she's ever sees this, she gave a shout out to my daughter on Instagram. So
nice.
So it's funny.
She's doing face stuff. I'm telling you.
No, but my daughter's a it's a huge Tiffany fan and like has signs and all the dresses like her, so it's probably that. But you know,
And also,
that
she's good friends with Nikita Lyons. I'm telling you, you want to get over.
Yeah.
You want to get over. You got the right people, and if they work well, yeah, you know, you never know with that there. But all in all, man, what a hell of a match, a hell of a card. The whole night was freaking awesome. You know, from Dexter to Legado del Fantasma. You know, you're introducing us to these new UK wrestlers instead of, you know, they didn't have these pops. We would have been like, oh, all right, who's these new guys? You know, we would have been feeling what people were feeling with the Forbidden Door, you know, when they brought New Japan over, unless you're diehard like Pete, you know, and when you're new, when you're, you know, casual, you're like, who are these? But they made a good job because they entertained us. They made us pop with the familiar faces and these surprises. They're doing the right thing here. And I love the fact that they go in over 15 minutes, close to 15 minutes time-wise. You know, where you don't know when they're going to expect to finish. And I love it. I'm excited. I can't wait to go next Tuesday and for the premium live event. Everyone, any other thoughts of tonight's NXT card?
It was just all around, man. It was just amazing. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, did you actually talk about the Roderick Strong thing in the backstage area with
No, because we didn't see that. That's why we didn't see that. I know I have another. I forgot another. I'm glad you remind me that. Before you give me the Roderick Strong, we have one quick note. We do have a new Chase U member, and we have Charles Dempsey, and that is the son of Blackpool Combat Club's own Lord Steven Regal, now part of Chase U University.
Nice.
What regard the son? I didn't know.
He looks a lot. He looks kind of a lot like Pete Dunne.
Yeah. But that is the son of Steven Regal, trusting his son to get developed by his friend Triple H company.
I mean, believe it or not, like Triple H, you know,
it's good.
You know, if William Regal didn't get signed by AEW, I mean, he would have hired him back too. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Regal back in the WWE.
I mean, Triple H doesn't burn bridges. That's the thing. Like, he has no reason to. He knows that the people that get released was not his fault. He had nothing to do with it. Like, so he feels like that. You know, he feels like that he wants to get the people that were released back. Like I was talking in a Discord chat yesterday about, like, what if the Ascension came back? What if they brought back the Ascension? Would anybody care if they brought back the Ascension? Like, I'll be honest.
No, not really. No, I'm liking where they're going with this NXT brand and the factions that they have and how to build that.
No, well, I don't mean like bring them back to NXT. I'm talking about like to the main roster. I mean, because like that would bolster the tag team division even more. Like,
no. I know what you meant. I just meant like I like how they're bolstering through NXT and like how they're finding pairings of their own on the tag team roster. Like it's just, you know, one of those where I think they're going a good route, and I think how they're doing it now is pretty decent and exciting. And I wasn't really a big fan of them, anyways.
Yeah, which iteration of the Ascension? Because there's like three different ones.
Any of it.
Yeah, I don't
know. There was a five man group, and then there was a 2-man group, and then a 3-man group, and then a 2-man group. And then they got released like in 2016, I think.
Yeah, they've been gone too long to come and make an impact again. You got to reintroduce, repackage. But I know Charles got to go. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes. Charles, I know you want to say your goodbyes. I know you got to get going.
Oh, it's great being on. Goodbye, everyone. Great talking again. Love NXT. We'll be there next week again, and then most likely at Worlds Collide as soon as go on. So can't wait to see you guys. Toxic Attraction was amazing. Great people. Peace out, everyone.
All right, we'll see you on the SmackDown review. Hopefully, if we could schedule it, we'll definitely be available. I would love to see you here. Thank you, Charles. We're gonna just take another 5 more minutes, guys. Give me 5 more minutes. I know we've been over almost for a while as Charles is gonna leave. I want to thank you guys myself for having you guys on. It's been exciting to spend this time with Spoken Wrestling with you guys. I thank you so much. Just your friendship, meeting you in NXT, becoming NXT family, as well as Samurai on the chat with us and as panelists. It was fun. I can't wait where we're going to grow. We're going to make this podcast to take it to the moon. We can't remind it and then some. Pete, any quick updates on New Japan Wrestling, or do you want to save that for another time?
We'll go ahead and save that for another time, right?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I agree. I understand. Terrence, give me your final thoughts. We'll throw it to Samurai Pete, and then we'll run the intro, and we'll be out of here.
Hey, man. Everything was good. Like I was saying before, I don't know. This show after Heat Wave, the first show after Heat Wave for NXT delivered, in my opinion. It was pretty damn awesome. I'm just ready to see what's going to happen next, man, like always. And then, every time we say that, it gets better and better and better. So, excited, man. It's going to be awesome.
I agree. We didn't even have Carmelo Hayes. We didn't have Carmelo Hayes, no Nikita Lyons, no Toxic Attraction. Just imagine the stat card that there is in NXT right now.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So much
and not even the women's tag team. I mean, they cut a promo in the back with them, but they didn't even wrestle. Just think about that, because they're the life of the party when they get it, when they actually literally come to the ring. So we're missing some of our good wrestlers there, and Fabian, and we didn't even see Fabian Eichner, aka Giovanni. So my God, so just imagine their stacked roster, a pay-per-view card that they could put with the possibilities with the matches. It'll be fun to see. Samurai, give me your thoughts of this NXT card, and we'll send it a piece so we can get going.
Well, I wasn't really. I mean, it was based on really based on the aspect of them building towards Worlds Collide. So it wasn't really much that they can do as far as wrestling. I mean, I love the whole wrestling aspect of it. I just wish that they could have built more towards Worlds Collide with the tag titles and everything like that. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with that. But I do agree with what Terrence said. It was just overall good card.
All right, Pete.
Yeah, it was a great show, and it was great. Man, this was just the build. Man, I can't wait. Worlds Collide, man. This is gonna be it, especially going up against AEW's All Out. This is gonna be one hell of a Sunday, I tell you that.
And I'm guaranteed they're gonna add to this card. This is not the final product. This card is gonna be stacked, guaranteed. I want not everyone's gonna go to Wales, so don't be surprised if they're gonna put some other wrestlers from the main roster just to make an appearance. I'm expecting a banging of a show for this premium live event.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. Indeed. So that's us here, the Heal the Ring podcast. If you follow us here on the Facebook group, Heal the Ring Facebook group, we also are anywhere the audio platforms, on a video, YouTube, Twitch, Rumba. Subscribe now. If you ain't down with us, we have 2 words for you. Just subscribe. I am BX Sports Jedi Kev, the Don of the Watch Along. I want to thank everyone in the chat. Everyone's my panelists. I appreciate for giving me your time. This beautiful Wednesday evening, guys. We'll see you soon for the SmackDown review. And if I don't see you then, I'll see you on NXT Tuesday. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time here on the Heal the Ring podcast. Peace.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change.